You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Taxpayers deserve a whole lot better answers than they're getting.
Well, this morning, Fox 17 News is doing even more digging into safety issues surrounding crime on WeGo buses. We're going to take a closer look at the mayor's billion-dollar tax plan in the works.
And we had that round of strong to severe thunderstorms roll through yesterday. Not looking at any of that for today. We're going to clear out those clouds, and the little bit of rain that we're seeing this morning going to clear out as we go through the rest of today. It's going to be a pretty warm weekend, though, for us. I'll show you how your weekend is shaping up here in just a bit.
All right, thank you so much, Brent, and welcome into Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Justin McFarland. We want to begin with some breaking news out of Madison. That is where Metro Police tell us at least 2 people have been shot. Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey is live out there for us on the scene. Johnny, what can you tell us?
Good morning, Justin. So we got here about a half hour or so ago, and we did learn from a Metro detective that 2 people were shot. Now, we're here on Skyline Drive. It's right near the Skyline Medical Center as well, and they don't know if the shooting happened here, but this is where the 2 of the victims were found, and this call came in just after 2 a.m. this morning, around 2:15. It went into dispatch. We've been in touch with dispatch throughout the morning, and several cruisers and some Metro officers have been here just in and out of the scene throughout the morning, with obviously the one cruiser you're seeing right here with the lights on blocking everything off. We're unsure right now about the condition of both of them, and we also don't have any information on a suspect at the moment, but what we can tell you is we do know at least one of the victims was taken to the hospital. And again, so we're on Skyline. We're at an apartment complex here in Madison, and just to recap quickly, we don't know where the shooting happened yet. That's what Metro detectives tell us, but we do know 2 people were shot and found right here. They are adults, and at least one of them was taken to the hospital, and we'll certainly be continuing to follow this live from Madison this morning. We'll send it back to the studio.
All right, Johnny, thank you so much. Well, we do want to provide an update this morning as one man is in custody in connection to a shooting and a carjacking that took place last month. Police have arrested Ontario Graham for a shooting that happened back on April the 17th at the McDonald's over on Nolensville Pike near I-440. Now, police say that the suspect shot a man that was sitting in the drive-thru before stealing another woman's car. That man and woman did survive the entire ordeal. Graham is now facing multiple charges, including attempted murder. Well, some people in the mid-state really did feel the wrath of Mother Nature on Wednesday. This is video of the powerful thunderstorm that swept through downtown Nashville. Believe me, it's there. I know the clouds are so heavy, it looks like there's basically a smudge on the lens, but there is a very powerful storm that rolled through. This is from our City View Office Park camera. The winds on the leading edge of the storm, there's downtown, were around 60 miles an hour, and that did cause some damage. So let's take a look. This is another time-lapse video here showing a shelf cloud loaded with rain marching across Sumner County. It was shot by our friend Jarrett Ambrose in Castilian Springs. That's just east of Gallatin there in Sumner County. So what is in store for us today? Of course, we were in Code Red yesterday to warn us about these storms. Brent Luna, what do you got in store for us here on this Thursday?
Today's looking a lot better, Justin. We're not going to have to deal with any strong, severe activity like we had to yesterday. Like you were just showing in some of those videos, some awesome clouds that were out there and some very strong winds, too. I know some of those winds brought down trees. We even had that gust-nado. I think we're going to talk about that a little bit more a little bit later on in the show. But right now we're at 73 here in Nashville. Overall, it's really calm for us. Might be having some visibility issues in some of our western spots. I'll show you that map here in just a second. Here's that front that moved through yesterday, helped fire off some of those showers and thunderstorms yesterday afternoon into the evening hours too. Most of that has cleared on out now. Could be seeing just a few very light sprinkles right there around and north of Interstate 40 in between Dickson and Nashville, and then down there in the far southeastern part of our viewing area in southern portions of Franklin County. Some light showers going on still there too. Some areas could be seeing a little bit of patchy fog. There's that thicker fog it looks like right there. That does include parts of Interstate 40 from Humphreys County on down to Wayne County. Temperatures right now, they're in the lower 70s for most areas. Again, 73 the current temperature right here in Nashville. Here's your 7-day forecast. Lower 90s on Friday, upper 90s on Saturday. There's a slightly better chance for storms on Saturday. Sunday looks to be the best rain chance that we get for the next 7 days. 60% chance for showers and thunderstorms.
Circular traffic at 405 this morning. Let's get us out to I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. This is out there in Antioch. We're rolling along just fine out there. No big problems in either direction. Certainly great to see you out there right now. Things can and will change. That is for sure. As the morning goes on, we got you covered with Fox 17 and our Circular Traffic Live and Local through 9. Well, community advocates are angry after another crime took place on a WeGo bus. According to court documents, a man threatened another passenger and started to wave around a gun. This comes after a string of violent crimes that happened over the past month on WeGo buses. Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell wants to spend about $7 billion improving transportation in Nashville. However, some advocates say the plan will not work. They say that safer communities need to be a bigger priority. Ben Cunningham says we've got to fix problems that already exist before expanding transit services.
Do you really think people are going to be safe riding a bus at 2 a.m. down Nolensville Road? Hell no, they're not. They're going to need 2 or 3 officers sitting on the bus if people expect to be safe.
The transportation improvement program we've proposed actually has built into it security funding that will increase security presence.
Well, the mayor's Choose How You Move plan will be on the ballot coming up in November. For more information about the proposed plan, you can always go to our website, fox17.com, and just type in proposed transit plan to try to get more details. The very first presidential debate of this year is just a few hours away, and a lot of folks will be tuned in. We're going to take a look at some of the key topics. 4:09 is the time. We're taking a live look this morning in Madison, not too far away from Skyline Medical Center. That is where Metro Police are investigating a shooting where 2 people were hurt at an apartment complex. This is on Skyline Ridge. That is just north of downtown there, just off of I-65 near Bradley Parkway, Dickerson Pike, all up there next to Skyline Medical Center. The conditions of the 2 victims right now is unknown. We'll continue to bring you up to date as we're on the scene talking with detectives and trying to figure out exactly what happened after that shooting took place around 2 o'clock this morning. Millions of Americans are likely to watch the anticipated debate between the current president, Joe Biden, and the former president, Donald Trump. But could this debate actually sway undecided voters? Lucas Tomlinson has more from Washington.
A majority of Americans say they plan to watch the first presidential debate. Many eager to see if a moment or a line by one of the candidates emerges that will change the course of the presidential race. Roughly 60% of American adults say they plan to watch the first presidential debate between President Biden and former President Trump. The age of both candidates a big issue going into the debate. House Speaker Mike Johnson says the oldest president in U.S. history is going to need some help.
I expect he's going to be up on energy drinks or whatever they're going to give him. And he did. He was overly aggressive at the State of the Union. It was pretty painful to sit behind him and experience that.
Vice President Kamala Harris predicts abortion will be a major issue in November.
Donald Trump handpicked 3 members of the United States Supreme Court because he intended for them to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Writing in the New York Times, Hillary Clinton thinks being the sitting commander-in-chief does not help. Mr. Biden starts from a disadvantage. Being president isn't just a day job. It's an everything, everywhere, all at once job. Historically, that has led to weaker first debate performances for the incumbent. Recent polls show the race in a dead heat, with Trump up in the swing states that will likely decide the election. The top Republican in the Senate thinks Biden made 2 mistakes in office, which will cost him.
One, the $2.6 trillion creating the inflation, and the other, basically opening the border.
In 1956, Democrats tried to make an issue of President Eisenhower's age. Ike would turn 70 by the end of his second term. At the time, he was the oldest president to hold the office. Today, Joe Biden is 81. Donald Trump is 3 years younger. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
And we had some strong to severe thunderstorms roll through the area yesterday. Not going to see any of that today, so that is some good news. I'll show you what the rest of the week is looking like, and then as we head on into the weekend, if you have any weekend plans, all those details to help.
4:14 is the time. We continue to follow that breaking news out of Madison this morning. That is where the Metro Police Department tell us that 2 people were shot. Let's get out to Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey, who's live for us this morning with some of the details, who's been talking with detectives. Johnny, what can you tell us?
Well, Justin, the detectives are telling me that 2 people were shot. They were found here, but they're unsure where they were actually shot. And so actually the scene just cleared, but I will tell you, it cleared just a few minutes ago, and there was a cruiser here with the lights on. Also a few other vehicles, some officers and detectives with Metro standing around. Now, this call came in around 2:15 this morning, and for some context, we're right here on Skyline Drive. This is an apartment complex in Madison, right near the Skyline Medical Center, near I-65, like you were mentioning as well. And so as for the condition, well, we don't know the condition of the victims right now, but what we do know is 2 of them, both adults, young adults, were taken to the hospital this morning, and we also don't know any information about a suspect right now, but we're going to be talking to neighbors this morning, trying to find out what's going on, if they heard anything overnight, and certainly dig a little more with Metro as well. We'll check back in a little bit right here on Fox 17, live in Madison. Johnny Maffey, Justin, back to you.
All right, Johnny, thank you so much. Let's take a look at some video that we don't see too often around here. It's something called a gustnado. All right, that is a brief whirlwind that forms on the leading edge of a storm. You'll be able to see this 18-wheeler here with debris flying in a tight circle. What can you tell us about a gustnado, sir?
Yeah, so typically it's too wet down here in Tennessee or the southeastern part of the country. They're pretty rare around here. Out in the plains, though, where it's drier, it's much more common out there. You can actually see that dust flying around. The good news, though, with these gustnados, they're usually too weak to cause any sort of damage. So at least good news right there on that too.
So it's really just more of sort of a swirling wind.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, dust is being picked up and thrown around by that swirling wind. All right. So thank you to the person who sent this in. It certainly got a lot of drivers' attention out there when that happened, so we appreciate them for that. Well, whether or not you are sending us news tips or pictures of your pets, we'd love to hear from you. You can share your weather photos and much more by visiting our website and clicking on our Chime In section. That's where you can send us your photos, your videos, and you might even see them right here on television the same way we just saw that gustnado there. You can go to our website, fox17.com, and go to Chime In. So let's get to that weather. And first of all, I just want to give credit where credit is due. That is Chris Jolly, who gave us that particular piece of video. Chris Jolly, that was on I-40 near the airport, is where that happened there with that gustnado there. So all kinds of strange occurrences. Today, going to be a little calmer, we hope.
It will be much calmer. And also, by the way, just any of those viewer photos, viewer pictures that anybody has, they always help us tell the story a lot, too, and let us know what's actually going on out there. So if you want to just keep on sending any of those in whenever we have those severe weather days, that's always a huge help for us. And we'll try to show those on air, too, obviously give you credit for those. But here's what we have going on right now. That little cold front moved through, helped kind of fire off some of those showers and thunderstorms yesterday. Yesterday afternoon and earlier in the evening, it did get kind of active. We had several severe thunderstorm warnings issued. We were showing you earlier in the newscast some of those winds gusting to about 60 miles per hour. So today's going to be much calmer, though. Still seeing a few light showers sticking around with a few areas. This is just very isolated rainfall, though, right there in between the Dickson and Nashville area along and north of Interstate 40, a few light showers, and then just a few other spotty light showers across portions of middle Tennessee. Nothing really to be concerned with, though, at all for this morning. Temperatures right now, they are in the low to mid 70s, depending on where you're at. We're at 73 in Nashville, 75, one of the warmer locations over in Linden. As we head through the rest of the morning hours, we could still see a few more of these showers, mainly in our southern and eastern counties. That's the noon picture right here, just a few isolated isolated showers right there near the plateau, and that's about it. We're going to clear on out as we head through the rest of today. And then as we go into Friday, I think Friday is going to be a mostly all dry day. This particular model is trying to bring in a couple of isolated showers. I really don't think we're going to see much rainfall, though, as we go throughout the day on Friday. Moving on into Saturday and Sunday, we will start to increase that rain chance. Saturday, a 30% chance for showers and storms, 60% chance for that on Sunday. Saturday is going to be a warm one, 97 for our high temperature. Heat index values, though, so what it could feel like on Saturday could be pushing around 105, maybe up to about 110 or so near the Tennessee River.
Steer clear traffic. Let's get out to the very latest happening there on I-40. That's near Fessler's Lane there on the east side of town. Traffic moving along pretty well over there in that direction. No big problems so far this morning. We are accident free on the roadways north, south, east, and west. 24, 40, 65. Everybody's looking good so far. We'll continue to watch the roads here for you because things can and will change at a moment's notice.
I don't actually believe that schools have the resources that they need to fix this problem.
Well, in crisis in the classroom, Tennessee state testing results have come in, and some would call the numbers. 21% of 8th graders are not proficient in reading, and 66% of 8th graders are not at grade level when it comes to math. This has some parents very worried that their children are not receiving the proper education.
They try to get help from the teachers. They're not getting that support. So there's basically we have a system failure.
Tanya Ray is the parent of a 9th grader. She says that in her daughter's school, they are not getting the help that she really needs. Ms. Ray says that she tried to get her daughter a tutor, but the school system says that they would have to pay for that. Fox 17 News spoke with Alex Guppy, who owns several Mathunariums, which is a type of math tutoring business. Guppy says that he's seen students fall behind in math more than ever before, but he says a lot of it could be because of learning loss and the pandemic.
In the past, we were helping 8th graders in 8th grade math with 6th grade skills, and now we're helping 8th graders with 8th grade math with 4th grade skills.
Well, another big issue is the student-to-teacher ratio. Now, we've seen over the past year that many schools across the mid-state have lots of open positions that have not been filled. That could mean there could be more children inside of mid-state classrooms. Well, crisis in the classroom is one of Fox 17 News' standing commitments to expose problems in our schools and trying to find solutions. If you have a story that you think we should know about, you can send us an email to news@fox17.com or call our tip line 615-266-4149. Well, the Tennessee Titans have something special in store. We're going to tell you how you can participate in one of their upcoming practices. And a quick look at what's trending right now on our website at fox17.com. Tennessee State Parks has announced that multiple state parks will begin providing new all-terrain wheelchairs. This will help increase accessibility for some of the... 4:24 is the time. Live look there at Nissan Stadium. Camera lens is a little bit wet, but work continues over there for the Titans' brand new stadium. If you did not plan on going to a game this year, but you still wanted to get in on some of the excitement, the Titans have announced that fans are invited to an open practice. It's going to be happening at Nissan Stadium coming up on Saturday, July 27th at 10 o'clock. It's 10 in the morning. This is a family-friendly event, and it's all part of the Back Together weekend presented by SeatGeek. And fans can attend the practice for free, but they have to claim that ticket online. Again, that's coming up here on July 27th at 10 a.m. Tracking accountability, Fox 17 News is following up to a story that we've been looking at for several weeks now. A Davidson County man has turned to Fox 17 News after he's seen several cases of flooding happening on his property. Now, the Metro Water Service did finally pay him a visit. We're talking about this man right here, John Cripps. He has now found that there is an issue with the culvert that he's been complaining about. This is a tunnel that helps the water properly drain. Mr. Cripps says that the Metro Water Service has promised to follow up with him in a couple of weeks. Now, the question is, how much rain is he going to get out there? And will that cause a problem as well? Let's get over to Brent Luna. He's going to tell us about your forecast here.
Yeah, Justin, there's more rain out for his area as we head on into the weekend, especially Saturday and Sunday. That rain chance will start to bump up some. We had some rain move through yesterday, had about 0.6 of an inch of rain that was recorded right here in Nashville at the airport. We're still in the hole, though, quite a bit. I'll show you the drought monitor map in just a second. Radar not showing much rain across Middle Tennessee or Southern Kentucky right now. Just a few of these very kind of spotty, isolated light showers. None of that is heavy rainfall. Here's our drought monitor map situation right now. This does not include that rain that we got yesterday, and in fact, this area down here in the southwestern part of the viewing area, that area did see a good bit of rain move through some of those areas too. Just dry conditions down there. Technically, none of our viewing area is in any sort of actual drought classification, so that is good news. We are still in the hole though for the month of June, especially here in Nashville, down about 1.5 inches from normal. Temperatures right now 60s and 70s most areas, 68 in Cookeville, 67 in Clarksville. We're at 73. That's the current temperature here in Nashville. As we head on into the weekend, the temperatures are going to go up on Saturday. 97 are high on Saturday. Humidity is going to build in too. Heat index values for around the Nashville area about 105 or so. Closer to the Tennessee River about 110. Around the plateau closer to 100 or just slightly above that. A 60% chance for showers and thunderstorms for us on Sunday.
Well, coming up tonight on Fox 17 News at 9, we've got another chapter in a story that we've been tracking now for several months. Repeat criminals released without bond, only to commit crimes that are even worse than the original ones. Well, after our reporting, changes are on the way. A Nashville judge is revamping the bond process, and brand new gun laws are going into effect coming up on July the 1st. You don't want to miss Dennis Ferrier's follow-up investigation that will air tonight on Fox 17 News at 9. Steer clear traffic at I-24 at Haywood Lane, looking pretty good out there. We're going to let you know about the latest drive times and anything else that can get in your way. Plus, the 2024 presidential.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
This morning on Fox 17, we're following multiple developing stories, including bringing you the latest right here from Madison, where overnight there was a shooting. We'll bring the latest from Metro.
And it's a pretty quiet start for us. We did have the rain move through yesterday. Not looking at much of a rain chance as we go throughout the day today. I'll show you who could see a few showers and also what the rain chance is looking like for your weekend in just a bit.
And steer clear traffic takes us to I-40 near Broadway. We're doing fine so far. We'll tell you where else you may run into some problems a little bit later. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Justin McFarland. We are beginning with two breaking news stories taking place. The first one is in Madison. That's where Metro Police say two people were found shot at an apartment complex. Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey is out there right now. He's been talking with detectives. Johnny, what do we know?
Well, Justin, the scene did just clear behind us here at the an apartment complex on Skyline Drive. It's right near Skyline Medical Center, right near I-65. And yes, two people were shot. The call came in around 2:15 this morning, and there were several cruisers over here. One of them with the lights on, blocking off the scene. They did leave within the last 15 minutes or so. And what one of the detectives told me was there were two victims, both shot. Dispatch telling us one of them was, at least one of them was taken to the hospital, and they were not shot here. The detectives don't know where they were shot, and they also don't have any information right now on a suspect. But again, the cruisers, the cars, they all cleared the scene. Several vehicles, including personnel from Metro here. An investigation is underway, again, right on Skyline Drive near Skyline Medical Center in Madison. We're going to hear coming up at 5. We talked to a neighbor who was up early this morning who said he is surprised by all this. He does feel safe in this apartment community, but we'll be bringing you some sound bites from him coming up at 5 when we check back in right here in Madison. Live in Madison, Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Also following breaking news this morning as the Metro Dispatch is confirming now that crews are responding to a fire that is happening at a business on Murfreesboro Pike. Now, this is going to be happening in the 2500 block of Murfreesboro Pike, just past the Nashville International Airport. Fox 17 News, Madeline Nolan live on the scene. What can you tell us out there, Madeline?
I can tell you that there is a huge response out here for this fire that seems to be right behind the Larry's restaurant. They did get responded to the Larry's restaurant here, but it seems like this fire is actually coming from behind it. However, we have seen a few firefighters go in and out of this gate over here that connects to Larry's to the back of their building. Now we're still working to get more information, but as you can see, it's a very heavy response here. Again, this is on Murfreesboro Pike in Antioch. We're still working to get that more information, but look how big these smoke clouds are. We haven't seen much of this fire, but again, big smoke, a lot of smoke out here, and then again, a lot of police presence. We have the Metro Police as well as the Nashville Fire Department on scene here. If we take a look to our right, you can see just how big this response is. They have lines going all the way down, and so if you are coming this way, you are going to be a little holed up on the side of the road here because they do have a few of these lanes blocked off for the fire trucks at this time. You can see there are, again, police response out here, but if we take you guys back over to the scene, you'll see all of this smoke. Still working to get more information, but as we do, we'll be sure to keep you all updated. Back to you guys all in the studio.
Active out there, but the weather is calm. Not seeing really anything popping up on radar at the moment with the exception of a few light showers. We had some heavy rainfall move through yesterday, some strong severe thunderstorms too. Calm right now here in Nashville. There's your live look over Broadway, 73 degrees. That's our current temperature right here in Nashville. Still cloudy, but some of those clouds will begin to clear on out as we go through the rest of the day. A few areas are seeing some showers. The bulk of that has moved out of our viewing area though. Just some very, very spotty light showers, really not going to cause you too many issues out there early this morning. Some areas though could be seeing a little bit of fog. This is for parts of Humphreys County on down into the Lawrence County area. That has gotten a little bit better though since when I was last looking at this map around 4 o'clock this morning. So good news over there in that area too. Temperatures right now, we are in the low to mid 70s across most of Middle Tennessee. Again, 73 right here in Nashville. Later on today, it is going to warm up some. I think temperatures should be very close, maybe even about a degree below normal for this time of year. 83 at noon, 89 your temperature by 5 o'clock. And then here's your 7-day forecast. I think 97 on Saturday. There's a chance for some showers and thunderstorms for the weekend.
Stay clear traffic this morning gets us out to Broadway. That's I-40 near Broadway in the heart of downtown Nashville. We're moving along really nicely over there right now. No big problems in all directions. We are all looking good and we are all in the green. Drive times look like this. This is 26 minutes in from Mount Juliet, 51 minutes in from Murfreesboro, 27 minutes in from Franklin. Cannot ask for better at 4:36 in the morning. Election security is top of mind as the race for the White House continues on. That is why Tennessee Secretary of State Trey Hargett recently sent out 14,000 letters warning non-citizens they will be prosecuted if they decide to vote in the state of Tennessee. Now, the penalty for voting illegally is either jail or a fine. So let's take a look exactly how many people have been prosecuted here for something like this in recent years. Now, these numbers are from the Tennessee Administrative Office that shows from 2017 to 2022, there were 24 convictions and 2 people cited for misdemeanors. Some local residents are viewing these as alarming and threatening. However, some state and local officials say it's not meant to intimidate, but just to ensure that elections are fair.
But I think, the key here is that the state chose to do this far enough in advance, especially of the November election, that the individuals that received the letter have plenty of opportunity to figure out exactly how they want to handle it.
Well, the conservative group, the Heritage Foundation, has ranked Tennessee as tops in the nation when it comes to election integrity. In this morning's viewer poll, we asked you, are you concerned about election integrity in the state of Tennessee? 60% of you so far have said yes. The other 40% of you say no. Thank you to all who have voted. Of course, if you'd like to chime in for yourself, you can do so by scanning that QR code on the side of your screen. You can also join us on our X page at Fox Nashville. A big topic for discussion. 2 new reports are painting a disappointing picture when it comes to Tennessee education. Coming up, we'll discuss the latest results of the Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. We want to take that live look there in Antioch in South Nashville, really. This is on Murfreesboro Pike. This is where we are dealing with a fire. You can still see that smoke rising there in the back of the Larry's restaurant there, located on Murfreesboro Pike. It's right next to the Tidal Max that's there on Murfreesboro Pike as well. 2572 to be exact, 2572 Murfreesboro Pike, not too far away from the Dover's Glen Drive area. If you're familiar with that area there, as I mentioned, several businesses surrounding it, including a Cricket phone shop, which is right next door. Looks like the fire could be into the rear of the business. Metro Fire is there in a very large number to try to make sure this fire does not spread any further. Again, we've got a reporter on the scene gathering more details, and as soon as she gets those details, she'll pass them along to us. But this is happening there in the Antioch area, close to Nashville Village, Nashboro Village, really, there on the Murfreesboro Pike area. As soon as we get more details about this, we'll let you know as Fox 17 News this morning continues on. Well, earlier in the show, we told you about some disappointing 8th grade TCAP scores in the state of Tennessee. Now we're going to take a look at some 4th grade results. Well, less than half of Tennesseans in the 4th grade, 46%, are proficient in reading. That's according to the results of the latest TCAP test. Now, this number is up 2% from last year. In the meantime, a separate study says that the kids count report has an even worse picture than this. It found that 70% of 4th graders are non-proficient in reading. Now, we do have the full results of the TCAPS test over on our website, fox17.com. If you want to read more about this story and hear from some of the local parents and school leaders about what they're doing to address this. Let's talk about your steer clear traffic out there this morning. Let's get started at I-24. This is at Haywood Lane down in the Antioch area. As you can see there, traffic moving along pretty well. No big problems as you get out the door this morning. No big holdups either. We will continue to follow the road out there, but so far we're doing really, really nice when it comes to your traffic here at 4:42 in the morning.
Calm weather for us right now, too. We could still see a few showers as we head through the next few hours. Not expecting anything too bad, though. I'll show you what your weekend is looking like as far as that rain chance goes here in just a bit.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partners.
4:44 is the time. We're taking another live look this morning as we're following breaking news just off of Murfreesboro Pike in the Antioch area as crews are responding to a fire at the rear of the Larry's restaurant there at 2572 Murfreesboro Pike there in Antioch, not too far away from Bell Road, just down the street. You can see that smoke continues to rise there as that fire burns. We do have a crew there on the scene. Our own Fox 17 News, Madeline Nolan, talking with the fire investigators to see exactly how much longer that fire could burn and maybe perhaps what is on fire. It doesn't seem like the building's on fire itself. It seems like there is something away from that building in the back of it that is on fire right next to the Cricket wireless store. There's a very large response for this. Again, this is on Murfreesboro Pike in Antioch, not too far away from Bell Road. We're going to continue to follow the details here and tell you more as soon as we learn more. Well, let's talk to Brent Luna right now. He's going to look at your forecast out there, and some storms came through yesterday. You tried to warn us, Brent, and it got loud and stormy for quite a few folks out there.
It did. We had those rounds of strong to severe thunderstorms roll through yesterday. Some of the wind gusts we were talking about, too, pushing potentially up to about 60 miles per hour. Heavy rain, good bit of lightning. So a little bit of it all yesterday. The good news, though, for us today, we're not going to have to worry about any of that. We could still see a few showers sticking around with us early this morning, but none of that should be too heavy. Also, not expecting any sort of bad weather as any of those showers continue through these morning hours. And most of us are still dry right now. We just have a few pockets of very isolated light showers. Just a few of these right there to the west of Interstate 65, north of I-40, south of Interstate 24, and that little triangle right there to the west of Nashville. Also down here in parts of Franklin Franklin County around the Winchester area. Still just seeing a few light showers as well, and that is about it on the radar. Temperatures are in the lower 70s for most locations. We're at 73 here in Nashville, 72 in Murfreesboro. We're at 72 up in Clarksville and in the Hopkinsville as well, and then a couple of 72s down there in Tullahoma and Lawrenceburg too. Here's what Futurecast is showing us as we head through the next several days. Not looking at much of a rain chance as we go through the rest of the day for most locations, except down here in our southern and eastern counties. We could still see a few of those showers sticking around. That was through the morning hours. This is the noon picture right here. Right there along the plateau, a few more showers could be lining up, but that is about it. Most other locations will remain dry, and we're also going to start to clear out too, especially areas along and north of I-40. We're going to lose some of those clouds by the middle part of the afternoon. Mostly sunny for the middle and end of the afternoon. A few more clouds though could roll in as we head on into Friday morning. Maybe a couple of showers, but I think most areas will stay dry for Friday. Not looking at much of a rain chance at all here across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. Moving on into Saturday though, that does change up for us a little bit. Saturday we start to bring in a chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms, and then some of that will carry on over into Sunday. I think that's when we actually see the better rain chance is going to be on Sunday. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll keep it about a 60% chance for some of those showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. Saturday is going to be a hot one to start out the weekend. 97 our high temperature on Saturday, but there's going to be a lot of moisture in the air, so factor in that humidity. It's going to make it feel like it's about 105 or so here in Nashville. It could be feeling like closer to 110 around the Tennessee River.
4:48 is the time. Let's take a look at your steer clear traffic. This is out in Murfreesboro, I-24 at the Shelbyville Highway. I'm checking in on this spot because it's been a known trouble spot over the last few weeks as they do construction out there. Right now, things are fine. They've got all lanes open in all directions, so you're doing good. And the same can be said for most of the mid-state. We're doing just fine out there as far as your traffic is concerned out there on the interstates. We'll be sure to watch things for you, let you know whatever may develop with Steer Clear Traffic live through 9. Well, the Tennessee Volunteers are fresh off their national championship win, and one of the big reasons for their success is the guy right there, Tony Vitello. He has been named the national, not the SEC, the national coach of the year. Now, the American Baseball Coaches Association has given him that honor. Watched him get dunked right there as he led the Vols to their first World Series college championship title. He set the single season record for 60 wins, making them the first SEC team to reach the 60-win mark. The Vols are also the fourth conference team to win the SEC regular season title, as well as the tournament title, and then the College World Series, all in the same year. Congratulations to Coach V out there. Well, let's talk about what's going on with the National Hockey League. The NHL draft gets underway Friday in Las Vegas. Now, you may remember this event was in Nashville just last year, but this year it's in Vegas. The Predators do have several picks. Fox 17 News Sports Director Joe Jonick has a preview. A big night for the franchise.
The NHL draft kicking off this Friday, and similar to last year, the Preds are expected to make some moves. Here to help us preview the draft night, Chase McKay, Program Director, 102.5 The Game, and Chase, Preds with 4 picks in the first 2 rounds of the draft. And General Manager Barry Trotz came on your show and said on 102.5 The Game that he's already making some phone calls ahead of the big draft night. What do you expect on Friday, and what's the position you expect the Preds to target the most?
Busy Barry, is that what we're going to call him?
Busy Barry.
Yeah, for sure. He came on our station, and he's always very grateful with his time. But I do think the Preds are going to do something. They obviously have to replace Ryan McDonough on defense. They're looking for that partner for Roman Josi. You can't get that with the 22nd pick in the draft. So I think that they're going to be making phone calls, try and get an established guy. I know Brandon Montour is going to be a free agent from the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. He could be an option, and obviously Andrew Brunette is familiar with him. I think defense, as much as people are like, you got to get scoring, they're going to do that. You know, Martin Neces's name is out there as a potential trade target, but they got to get defense too, because I just think they need more depth at that position, and they need somebody to put alongside Roman Josi.
More depth on defense and potentially some splashy moves. It all goes down Friday for the first round of the draft, where the Preds have number 22 overall. He's Chase McCabe, Program Director, 102.5 The Game. Chase, as always, thanks so much.
Thanks, Jill.
Well, building up his resume. We're going to tell you how country superstars like Luke Combs is showing off their driving skills during Sunday's Ally 400 race in Nashville. Plus 4:54 is the time. Taking a look right now, some of the photos and videos from yesterday's pop-up storms. These are coming to us from East Nashville. That's where that powerful storm knocked down some of the trees in that particular area. This one on Porter Road partially blocked traffic, as well as a few blocks away. Another tree fell on a power line. It did not knock out the service, but NES crews were out there to still remove some of that debris. So heads up, could still see some of that debris out there on the roads depending on where you are. Well, we do have a quick message this morning from NES, Nashville Electric Service. They are working to restore power for people who are dealing with outages because of those storms. They also want to let you know that due to the extreme weather situations with the heat, they are not going to be disconnecting services right now for non-payment. They have also linked a website to the area where you can find cooling stations if you're having trouble cooling off your home. So keep that in mind as well.
And a much quieter start for us right now. We are calm across most of Middle Tennessee. I'll show you a radar here in just a second. Here's your live look over Broadway, though. 73 degrees. It started out right here in Nashville. Calm and quiet for us. Most areas are still pretty dry, too, but we are still seeing a few showers. All of this, though, is pretty light activity. Just a few of these showers right there along and north of Interstate 40, west of the Nashville area. Down here in the southern portions of Lincoln and Franklin County, seeing a little bit there, too. And then just right north of McMinnville, we have a few showers going on, and that is about it. None of these really causing any issues. Visibility was a little bit lower out west just a little bit ago, around 4 o'clock. That has improved quite a bit, though. Not really looking at many visibility issues now across Middle Tennessee or southern Kentucky. Temperatures right now, they're in the lower 70s, 71 in Columbia, 72 for Murfreesboro. We're at 73 right here in Nashville. And then as we go throughout the rest of the day, we are going to warm up. The temperatures are going to be pretty close to normal for this time of year. 83 your temperature by about noon, 89 by 5 o'clock. We start out pretty cloudy, might see a few showers for some areas through the morning hours. I think the best rain chance is going to be for our southern and the eastern counties as we head through the morning hours. And then later on this afternoon, that rain for those spots is going to clear on out. And also the clouds are going to clear out of here too. 93 are high on Friday. Mostly sunny skies, it looks like, on Friday. Saturday, a 30% chance for showers and thunderstorms. 97 the high on Saturday. Heat index values, though, are going to be higher than that. So it could feel like it's about 105 or so here in Nashville. Maybe up to about 110 or so along the Tennessee River. And then Sunday, we have a better chance, a 60% chance for showers and storms.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a good look at what we're dealing with out here at I-40 at 46th Avenue over in West Nashville. Traffic out there moving along really nicely. No big problems in either direction out there. We are wide open here on this Thursday morning. It's not going to hold up. We'll eventually have some problems a little bit later. Right now we're doing good. This is 40 at Fessler's over on the east side of town. Also looking really nice so far. We'll continue to check on things, let you know about that drive coming in from Antioch. That's coming up in our 5 o'clock hour. Well, in your community this morning, Tennessee State University and their Board of Trustees has appointed Dr. Ronald Johnson to serve as the interim president for the university. Now, Dr. Johnson will get started on July the 1st. He does have a career in higher education that spans nearly 2 decades. Dr. Johnson has served as a faculty member at Texas Southern University. They are known as the other TSU in the HBCU world. Florida A&M, he's been there as well. Howard University, as well as Northeastern University. He will serve as the interim president for 1 year while the Board of Trustees conducts a national search to hire a permanent president. You may remember Dr. Glenda Glover, who had been the president there over the last decade or so, just retired. Well, country music superstar Luke Combs has a big responsibility on Sunday during the Ally 400 at the Nashville Superspeedway. Combs will be driving the honorary pace car, getting behind the wheel of a 2024 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. He is going to serve as the race's honorary grand marshal. He did that back in 2021. So I'm not sure what that particular car is, that Ford Mustang and the Dark Horse, but man, I want to see that. That should be rather cool to see. All right, let's talk about what could be the shoes of the late king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. His famous blue suede shoes. You know, there's a whole song about it. They are up for grabs at a British auction house known by Henry Aldridge and Son. Now, the opening bid for the blue suede shoes starts at $70,000, and it could go way up from there. They're expected to go up to around $150,000 for Elvis's blue suede shoes. I mean, listen, this is it. The shoes are around 10.5 in size for the king of rock and roll. Never knew that. How many people knew Elvis's shoe size? I didn't know until right now. These were worn by Presley both on and off stage during the 1950s. He did wear them while singing I Want You, I Need You, I Love You, as well as Hound Dog on the Steve Allen Show back in the 1950s. He also gave them to his friend, Alan Forrest, back in 1958, the night before leaving for the United States Army. So there is some history to go along with these shoes, to say the least. Our 5 o'clock hour starts right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are following 3 breaking news stories right now here on your Thursday morning, including a shooting and a fire. But first, just into the newsroom moments ago, we have learned that Metro Police are at the scene of a stabbing in Bellevue.
Yeah, so we do understand crews say they're responding to the Bellevue West Apartments. It's located on Ridge Lake Parkway. That is just off of Old Hickory Boulevard. We now know police are on the scene and our Fox 17 News crew is on the way. We're going to have more updates on this Bellevue breaking news story beginning at 5:30.
And right now we go to Madison, the other big breaking news story of the morning. Metro Police say they found 2 teenagers with gunshot wounds early this morning at an apartment complex. We'll let you know where this happened. This is the 808 Apartments on Skyline Ridge Drive. This is right there by Skyline Hospital. This is where officers tell us those 2 teenagers were found shot. Now, what we're working to find out is whether the teenagers got shot here at this apartment complex or somewhere else. We know at least one of them went to the hospital. Fox 17 News caught up with a neighbor who happened to be awake when police got there.
I was completely surprised, you know. Like I said, I was just coming outside to take my morning stroll down the street and, you know, just completely taken aback by it. You know, didn't think something, you know, could happen to me like that, you know, just so close. But yeah, nah, like I said, I'm totally surprised by it.
Yeah, that neighbor taken by surprise, as you just heard. Right now, we understand no one is in custody. Fox 17 News, though, also working to learn more about the conditions of the 2 teenagers who were shot.
And the other breaking news story here on this Thursday morning takes us to Murfreesboro, to the Antioch area, where Nashville first responders show up to a fire at a business.
Yeah, so we're getting some more live looks of where this is happening right here on your screen. It's in the 2500 block of Murfreesboro Pike, right past B&A. That's where we find Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan with more updates. Good morning, Madeline.
Good morning, and that's right. Since the last time that we spoke, I did get more information from Metro Police on this fire here. Now, they first were called to the Larry's restaurant just off Murfreesboro Pike, but I did find out that this is actually behind the building, a little off of Rule Hill Road, and this is supposedly another structure fire just down the hill here. And from the maps, it looks like it could be the Nashville Adult Literacy Building. At this time, we're still working to get that confirmed. We're also working to see exactly what happened here and to see if anyone has been injured in this fire. But you can see from over here that the smoke is just billowing up from down the hill there. Still, again, working to get more information, but a heavy scene out here just off of Murfreesboro Pike in Antioch. Now you can see, if we take it over here, you can see just how much of a response they did bring here. Still working to put out that fire at this time, but according to dispatch, they got this call around 3:15 a.m. and it's just a few hours later and they're still here. They might be packing up. We're still working to get more information, but as we learn more, be sure to keep you all updated. Back to you guys in the studio.
Madeline, thank you. We're going to check in now. We are not in a code red weather alert. That's good for this Thursday.
Thank goodness. Brett did have some storms yesterday, some strong winds in some spots.
We did have some strong severe thunderstorms roll through Middle Tennessee up into southern Kentucky too. Some of those severe thunderstorm warnings were issued because of winds gusting up to about 60 miles per hour. Some heavy rainfall with some of those as well. Did bring some trees down and again, some heavy rainfall, but we need the rain. We are still in the hole for this month. We're still about an inch and a half in the hole right here in Nashville. 73 degrees, that's our current temperature right here in Nashville. Overall, a calm and quiet start for us. Still seeing a few showers. I'm going to zoom in on this radar map. Still seeing just a couple of very isolated showers just to the west of Interstate 65. Also down here, just a couple of pockets of some showers just north of McMinnville and around the Winchester area down in Franklin County. And that is about it. Not really seeing a whole lot on radar compared to what we were seeing this time yesterday. Temperatures today are going to be in the low to upper 80s as we head through the afternoon. So overall, not too bad of a day for us. Temperatures should be pretty close to normal for this time of year. 93 are high on Friday, 97 on Saturday, and there is a better chance for some showers and thunderstorms as we head on into the weekend. A 30% chance on Saturday, 60% chance for that on Sunday.
Brett, thank you so much. Steer clear traffic time and looking so good here on a Thursday morning. Live look I-24 at Shelby Avenue. This is part of the downtown loop right by Nissan Stadium and the construction for the brand new Nissan Stadium. You can see it from I-24 at Shelby. No traffic issues here at all. In fact, I'm checking TDOT right now behind the scenes, and it looks like as of right now, we are crash-free here in Middle Tennessee.
That sounds good. Right now, though, in Operation Crime and Justice, one man is now in custody in connection with a shooting and a carjacking at a McDonald's of all places.
Man, oh man. All right, so police arresting Ontario Graham for the shooting that happened back on April 17th at the McDonald's on Nolensville Pike near I-440. Listen to this. Police say he shot a man sitting in the drive-through line, just waiting on his food before stealing another woman's car. Now, the man and the woman did survive this whole ordeal, but Graham is now facing a long list of charges, including attempted murder.
People need to understand and know about these issues before they go to the polls and vote on it.
Well, community advocates are rightfully so angry after another crime on a WeGo bus. According to court documents, a man threatened another passenger and then began waving a gun around.
This comes after a string of violent crimes happening over the past month on WeGo buses. We've been documenting them. Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell wants to spend about $7 billion improving transportation in Nashville, but some advocates say that plan is not going to work. Advocating for safer communities, Ben Cunningham says we need to fix the problems that already exist before spending all that money expanding transit services.
Do you really think people are going to be safe riding a bus at 2 a.m. down Nolensville Road? Hell no, they're not. They're going to need 2 or 3 officers sitting on the bus if people expect to be safe.
The transportation improvement program we've proposed actually has built into it security funding that will increase security presence.
Now, this conversation has plenty of mixed opinions, with plenty of folks also sounding off. The Regional Transportation Authority has endorsed the mayor's Choose How You Move plan. If you want to read more about this plan, head to fox17.com.
At 5:07 right now, the first presidential debate is later this evening. We're going to take a look at some of the 5:09 right now, national headlines. The first presidential debate of 2024 happening tonight. And while we know the two candidates will face a lot of questions on key issues like the economy, immigration, and abortion rights, we also know they're going to face a new set of debate rules. Our Washington correspondent, Juliet Benbrook, joining us from outside the venue this morning in Atlanta.
President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump agreed to meet on the debate stage after lots of back and forth.
I'm calling on Crooked Joe to debate anytime, any place. We'll do it anywhere you want, Joe.
Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald.
Now, the first presidential debate of the season is almost here. And although it's a rematch of 2020,
the question Supreme Court Justice, radical left. Will you shut up, man? Listen.
There are a couple of key changes. There's no studio audience, and while some say that will hurt Trump, who typically feeds off of a crowd, others predict it will make his performance stronger.
If I'm an advisor, you have to be potentially concerned about the bombastic nature of the former president because of an audience. So absent an audience, my presumption would be he'll be a little more toned down. He doesn't have a crowd to potentially react to some of the things that he may say.
The microphones will be muted, except for the candidate whose turn it is to speak.
If you look back at the first debate in 2020, it's clear that it has to be that way.
A coin flip determined that Biden will stand at the podium on the right side of the television screen, and Trump will get the final word of the night. No props or pre-written notes will be allowed on stage, but both candidates will be given a pen, a pad of paper, and a bottle of water.
Well, happening today, Fox 17 News getting a closer look at the Wings of Liberty Museum. We're taking you inside and telling you why this museum is going to be different from the current museum. So happening today, we do understand there is going to be a groundbreaking ceremony for the new Wings of Liberty Museum. It's located at Fort Campbell. And not only is this going to tell the story of the 101st Airborne Division, it's also going to pay tribute to all the men and women in the other units who call this post home. It is really cool. And museum creators telling Fox 17 News that the Wings of Liberty Museum is going to be more accessible for the public to visit than Fort Campbell's current Pratt Museum. So why is that the case? Well, they say that's because it's right here. It's located right there on the edge of Fort Campbell. So there's not going to be any kind of fences on the east side, which means visitors can come right in without all the verification that's required over at the current museum, which again is called the Pratt Museum. The Tennessee Wings of Liberty Museum, though, is set to open late next year. So, of course, we'll follow up on that story.
Erica, thank you. Right now, Fox 17 News monitoring several breaking news stories right now. One of them, the fire off Murfreesboro Pike in the Antioch area. Fire crews responding to the 2500 block just behind Larry's Restaurant on Murfreesboro Pike. We have our reporter Madeline Nolan live with an update in minutes.
Right now, Fox 17 News, we are continuing to follow some more breaking news updates. Metro dispatchers confirming crews are responding to a fire. It's at a business over on Murfreesboro Pike.
All right, very early morning fire and a whole lot of presence right now from emergency first responders. Let's send it out to Fox 17 News reporter Madeline Nolan. She is live along Murfreesboro Pike out toward Antioch, not too far from Nashville International Airport.
Yeah, that's right. We're here and it's still a pretty heavy scene, but as you guys can see behind me, the smoke has kind of started to go down, meaning that they might actually have a little bit of a handle on this fire right now, but a huge response from the Nashville Fire Department at this time. We also have Metro Police out here who I spoke to earlier that did confirm that there is a structure fire down there at the bottom of the hill off of Rural Hill Road. This is just off of Murfreesboro Pike in Antioch, and we're still working to get more information on exactly what building, exactly what happened here, and what time that they did get called out here. According to dispatch, it was around 3:15 a.m., so a few hours later, and they're still out here. They could be overhauling at this time, but we're still working to get more information. And as we do, we'll be sure to keep you all updated. For now, live here in Antioch, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you so much. 5:16 is the time. We're not in a code red weather alert, but I woke up to some showers, slight sprinkles out there.
Yeah. How are things looking for today? More of the garden variety?
Yeah, things are looking a lot better. I don't even know if I'd even call it garden variety today. Just some light.
I'm sorry. Garden variety.
Oh, yeah, where did that term come from anyways?
I don't know. I know what you're talking about, though.
Been around forever.
Just a few light showers, kind of possible. Maybe a couple of thunderstorms, but for the later parts of the morning. But really not expecting a whole lot. I'll show you what's going on the radar right now, though. It's really just a few light showers, very spotty that we have going on too. This is going to be for areas right there along and west of 65. You can barely even see them on the radar. Just some very light showers just north of McMinnville, and then down there around the Winchester area and parts of Franklin County. Just some light showers down there too. But that is about it. Everybody else off to a dry start this morning, and we are going to stay dry for a lot of areas as we go throughout the day, but our southern and eastern counties could see a few showers roll in a little bit later on this morning. Current temperatures there in the 70s, 73 right here in Nashville, 71 in Murfreesboro, 72 for Clarksville. It's also 72 up in Hopkinsville. As we go through the rest of the day, again, not expecting much of a rain chance for most areas. Just a slim chance for some showers down here in our southern and eastern counties. That's going to last through the morning hours, and then by the time we hit the later part of the afternoon, it's basically all dry. The clouds are also going to start to clear out for us too by the mid and later part of the afternoon, especially for areas along and north of Interstate 40. We'll see more sunshine in those areas as we head throughout the day. Friday morning, we started out dry. I think we stay mostly all dry for Friday. I'm not going to put a rain chance in that 7-day forecast. However, this model does bring in just a couple of isolated showers. Overall, though, I think Friday is mostly dry for us. As we move on into Saturday, that's when things begin to change up for us a little bit. We bring in about a 30% chance for showers and thunderstorms on Saturday. And then for Sunday, there's a 60% chance for some of these storms carrying over from the morning into the afternoon hours of Sunday. Here's your 7-day forecast. It's going to get warmer as we head on into the start of the weekend, too. 97 degrees or high temperature on Saturday. Heat index values, so that's what it could feel like, around 105 or so around the Nashville area, maybe even a little bit higher than that, closer to 110 around the Tennessee River.
Let's talk about steer clear traffic this morning. Let's start north of town. I-65 at the Fern Avenue overpass there north of downtown Nashville. We're doing okay out there so far. No big slowdowns or holdups here. No major crashes to tell you about. So things have been very, very calm so far. We do know things can really pick up, especially once we get into our 6 o'clock hour. We are expecting to see big slowdowns, especially right over here in these lanes. We're expecting to see a lot of slowdown, but right now we're doing fine. Overall drive times also in the green right now from Hendersonville to Mount Juliet to Kingston Springs. Everybody should be rolling along speed limit or higher if you dare, making that drive into town.
Making national headlines here on your Thursday morning, the Democratic National Committee just paid for billboards to welcome former President Trump to Atlanta, and this is probably exactly what you would think it would be. The Democratic Committee there in Atlanta put up 5 billboards that will read, "Donald, welcome to Atlanta for the first time since becoming a convicted felon. Congrats," or whatever. That's what the billboard says. Now, you can imagine this is just adding fuel to the fire for Trump supporters who have embraced all of this. These are long highways that Mr. Trump will most likely use to get from the airport to tonight's presidential debate. But again, Mr. Trump's campaign so far has embraced this, and so perhaps it won't have the impact the Democrats are thinking it might.
I mean, there's a lot going on in Atlanta. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Biden campaign says their strategy is to bring highlights from tonight's debate even to those who are not watching this debate live in real time. Campaign leaders say that they are currently working with 18 social media creators within this particular group, millions of followers they should have, to help amplify the debate clips online. The hope is to reach a wider audience, they say, that either aren't paying attention to the presidential race right now or simply are not watching this debate.
Or I think I've read some reports that this effort on the part of Biden's team is also going to be to try to counteract what they're expecting to be a series of flubs and negative social media highlights where the current president may stumble or appear to be, you know, out of sorts, if you will. So this social media strategy on Biden's part is also going to try to combat whatever ends up in a negative light for him.
Yeah, so we also know in Atlanta that they're going to be having the Biden campaign, that is, hosting a creator watch party where they're going to work to amplify the key debate moments, to your point.
Interesting. So they're going to try to pull whatever they can that's positive and then blast social media with it.
Which I think both sides will do, using social media to their own sides.
Absolutely, that's right. Hey, the Supreme Court will continue to allow the White House to crack down on what they consider misinformation. The new ruling allows the Department of Homeland Security to continue to flag posts on Facebook and Twitter that could be the work of foreign agents, they say, trying to disrupt the elections.
On the other hand, some Republican officials have joined social media owners to file the lawsuit. They're accusing the administration of blocking free speech.
Sumner County School Board members trying to figure
5:24 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. School boards across the mid-state are trying to solve roughly the same problem. That's how to keep teachers in the classroom. How do you keep teachers from jumping ship and going to other school systems for more money? Well, in Sumner County, they want to pay teachers $50,000 a year at the minimum. State leaders want that to be the state standard. They passed laws recently to try to give school systems more money to pay teachers. However, when one school board member and one director started to dig into the weeds as to exactly how to get to that number, well, there was some disagreements and misunderstandings, and it led to a moment like this.
Can we get some kind of accounting of that? Is there some breakdown of the reserve balance? Because we're talking about...
It's called the best CFO in the state of Tennessee right here.
I understand that.
No, I'm talking. Let me finish, please. She spent months, and her team has spent months, and they're phenomenal. And I'll be honest, it's insulting.
It is not.
It is very insulting.
It is not. I'm asking for information. I'm asking for information from my constituents.
Fine.
You're telling me I'm insulting her. I'm not. You are out of order. Just trying to get information.
Right. And
there's no insult going on. Okay.
So that was a moment there between Stephen King, a school board member, and Dr. Scott Langford, who is the director there for Sumner County Schools. Now, in the end, they did pass the budget as is, which does not get teachers to the $50,000 number that they want, but they did propose a number of other changes. We're going to talk about that coming up here in our 6, 7, and 8 o'clock hours.
And it's a mostly dry start for us here in Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. Not seeing a whole lot on the radar. We had an active day yesterday. Strong and severe thunderstorms pushed their way across Middle Tennessee. We're not going to have to deal with any of that today. Pretty calm right now. Just a few showers along and west of 65. You can hardly even see them on the radar. They're so light. Right here just north of McMinnville too. Seeing a few showers right there. Also down there in Franklin County. And that is it. Nearly everybody else is dry. Here's our current drought situation. But this map right here does not include the rain that we got yesterday. Some areas got a good bit of rainfall, and it was kind of needed too, especially in these areas down here. This is actually a decent looking map though for us, even though we are in the hole for rain for the month. Nobody is in any actual drought classification. We do have just those abnormally dry conditions though in our southwestern areas, but no one is in that D1, 2, 3, or 4 drought level. Current temperatures are in the 70s for most areas. 73 right here in Nashville, 72 Gallatin, 71 down in Lewisburg. And then as we go on into the weekend, it's going to be a warm one for you. Saturday, we should be around 97 for our high temperature. Heat index values for nearly everybody, 100 or higher. 105 or so in the Nashville area, pushing closer to 110 around the Tennessee River. 60% chance for showers and storms on Sunday.
5:27 is the time. Want to take a live look here at your steer clear traffic. I-24 at the I-24 65 junction there north of town. We're going to give you an update about anything that happens on your roads. Plus, Metro Police are on the scene of a stabbing in Bellevue. Our Fox 17
make some room for a big old elk with a cherry on top. Come on, it's Saturday.
Watch Crisis in the Classroom only on Fox 17 News.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Hey, very good morning to you on this Thursday. It's 5:30 right now. We are following several breaking news stories. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
And I'm Erica Glover. We are now getting some live updates regarding a stabbing over in Bellevue this morning. We're going to right on over to our Fox 17 News reporter, Johnny Maffey. We're also mapping out where this all happened. Johnny, I know you just got there to this scene in Bellevue. What are police saying to you?
Good morning, Jen and Erica. So yes, like you mentioned, we got here about 15 or so minutes ago. I just talked to a few officers. They were called here for a stabbing, and they do tell me that one person was taken to the hospital. Let's show you around here. We're on Ridge Lake Parkway. You can see the blue lights behind us, and then if we head over to the right, some caution tape blocking off the scene. I've counted, as you can see, a few cruisers here, 8 or more, and one just drove in behind me. Law enforcement vehicles with their lights on here. Now, we're not sure exactly when this all happened, but this is some sort of an apartment complex over here, again, on Ridge Lake Drive in Bellevue. We're unsure of the condition of that person taken to the hospital, and when I asked officers, again, just 10 or so minutes ago, if they have any information on a suspect, they could not share anything with me, so we're going to keep digging. We have another cruiser coming in here as well. Unsure if it's Metro Police or if there's more involved at the moment, but we'll certainly be following it right here from Bellevue. Live in Bellevue, Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Johnny, thanks so much. Also breaking this morning from Nashville, Metro Dispatch confirming that crews showed up to a fire at a business on Murfreesboro Pike in the early morning hours, and this has been a big effort on their part.
Yeah, it's over the 2500 block of Murfreesboro Pike, right past Nashville's International Airport. That is where we find Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan with more updates. Madeline, I can still see some of that smoke right behind you there.
Yeah, you can still see it. It's been a few hours since we've been here, and they're still here. You can actually see right now they are actively using that overhead hose, that ladder hose, to put out this fire here off of Murfreesboro Pike. Now, when dispatch got this call, they first responded over here to the Larry's Restaurant and Bar off of Murfreesboro, but after speaking to Metro Police, they did tell me that this is actually another structure fire behind the Larry's Restaurant. We're still working to get more information on exactly what is on fire and what exactly happened here at this business. We're still, again, working to get all that information, but as we take you guys over here, you can see how many units actually responded to this fire this morning. We got this call around 3:15 a.m. Been out here for a few hours, and they're still going, still working to see if we know if anyone has been injured in this fire and exactly that cause. But again, still out here, still waiting for more information. But for now, live here in Nashville, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you so much. We also have some more breaking news updates regarding a shooting investigation that's happening right now in Madison.
Right, so the scene about an hour ago at the 808 Apartments on Skyline Ridge Drive. This is just north of Skyline Medical Center in Madison. Officers who were there this morning with our Johnny Maffey earlier told us that they are still working to find out whether these teens were shot at this apartment complex or somewhere else. We do know at least one of them did go to the hospital. Fox 17 News talked with a neighbor who was awake when the police got there. Listen to his response.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like I said, we got cameras. You know, we get the police roll by here. Everybody, you know, you see the presence. So you know, I feel safe. You know, nah, man, just you know, like I said, I'm definitely in shock this morning. You know.
Well, police say as of right now, they do not have anyone in custody, but we're also working to get some more details about the conditions of the two teenagers who were shot. You can follow all of our breaking news stories right here on air and, of course, over on fox17.com.
All right, kind of a rough start here to this Thursday morning in the Nashville area. Let's get a check the forecast. It looks like the rough weather that we had yesterday is going to calm down a bit for today, Brett.
Oh, yeah, Jen, much calmer for us today. We did have some strong to severe thunderstorms rolling through yesterday. Not going to have to deal with any of that today. It is cloudy, though, to start it out. 73 degrees, our current temperature right here in Nashville. Those showers that moved through and thunderstorms that moved through yesterday, those have basically moved all out of here. Not really seeing a whole lot going on the radar right now. Most of this rainfall that we're seeing, just very light. So light you can barely still see it on the radar right there. Just north of McMinnville, still seeing a few showers there. And then down there south of Winchester, and that is about it. Everybody else off to a pretty dry start this morning. Temperatures are in the lower 70s most locations. Again, 73 right here in Nashville. As we go throughout the rest of the day, we will warm up, but it's not going to be much higher than normal. Might be right at normal. 83 degrees by noon, 89 your temperature by 5 o'clock. Partly cloudy throughout most of the day, mostly sunny, I think, for the later part of the afternoon. Those clouds will begin to clear as the day goes on. 93 the high on Friday. Saturday we're at 97 at 30% chance for showers and storms. Heat index values around 105 or so in Nashville, up to 110 or so along the Tennessee River. A better rain chance on Sunday.
Steer clear traffic on the east side this morning. This is going to be I-40 at Dawson Pike, very close to the airport. Smooth sailing out there near B&A. They had a lot of delays yesterday as those storms were rumbling through, but no problems this morning with the traffic, at least as you get out there this morning. Keep in mind they're still doing a lot of road work out there very close to B&A as well. You can see some of those construction crews here on the shoulder, but overall, no big problems so far. We'll continue to follow things here throughout the morning.
Justin, thank you very much. At 5:36, an investigation into that failed Graceland foreclosure now handed over to the feds. We'll tell you why this situation involving a scammer from overseas is getting more. Welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. We're glad you're here to kick off your Thursday. It's 5:39. Tennessee's Attorney General's office has now turned over its investigation into that botched Graceland foreclosure. It's now in the hands of the feds, and so many folks, including Elvis's family, are thankful this thing is botched, that somebody figured out what was going on here.
A wild story. Yeah. According to a statement from the Attorney General's office, they looked into Elvis Presley's Graceland estate and they decided the feds were better suited to handle this case. Now, this comes after Presley's granddaughter filed a lawsuit back in May against a company claiming to hold the deed to the property. Nosity Investments claims that Lisa Marie Presley, who passed away in 2023, used the estate as collateral for a loan and then didn't repay it. Her daughter claimed fraud and then sued to go ahead and protect the estate from foreclosure.
The Department of Justice declining to comment so far on this case, but we'll keep a track on it here in our home state of Tennessee because we know we got a lot of Elvis and Graceland fans out there. Never will forget the first time I visited Graceland, Brett. You know, they have the upstairs cordoned off. And being the curious...
Don't tell me you went underneath.
Well, I tried. I mean, I didn't get kicked out or anything, but
isn't that the news anchor? Get her down.
The tour guides were like, whoa, 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 ma'am, you can't go up there. So, I mean, I didn't, but...
Yeah, Elvis is one of my favorite people.
Have you been? I mean, you're from that area.
Well, I got a ton of stories. I got the Tupelo roots. I've got the Memphis roots. I have never been to Graceland, though.
Really?
I've never been. My mom's always been trying to get me to go, and I've just never gone. But I do love Elvis.
All right, I think we got a field trip coming.
That's right.
That would be fun. Well, hey, just real quick, want to show you the radar. We have some showers going on still across parts of Middle Tennessee. Very, very light. Nothing heavy right now. And I think that's about how it's going to stay. A few more showers possible in our southern and eastern counties. Temperatures, they're in the lower 70s for most locations. Not off to a bad start. And as you head throughout the rest of the day, temperatures are actually going to be lower than what we had yesterday. 87 your temperature by 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We are in the upper 80s. Mostly sunny for the later part of the afternoon. And this weekend is going to be a warm one for us, especially on Saturday with a chance for storms.
Steer clear traffic gets us out the door this morning on the north side of town. This is going to be I-65 at the I-24 junction there. You should make that drive down from what I call all the villes, whether it's Millersville or Hendersonville or Goodlettsville, on north of the city this morning. So we're doing okay so far on that push. We do expect things to get more and more crowded there as the morning goes on. Here's 24 at Harding Place, expecting more and more traffic to crowd up here too on that drive into town from Antioch. We'll continue to watch things for you.
As Nashville firefighters began that overhauling process, we just got new information on this structure fire here in Antioch off of Murfreesboro Pike. More coming.
Welcome back. 5:45 is your time. Right now, we're keeping you updated on several breaking news stories this morning. Unfortunately, we've had a fire at a local business on Murfreesboro Pike.
We're now taking a live look at the 2500 block of Murfreesboro Pike right near B&A. That is where this is happening. We're mapping it out for you, but also our Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan is giving us a much closer look.
That's right. It looks like Nashville firefighters are beginning to wrap it up here before investigators get in. But as we got here, this was a huge scene. Still a lot of firefighters on scene at this time, but it looks like they have gotten that fire under control. We also got some new information. We did learn from the Nashville Fire Department's PIO that there were no injuries in this fire, but they did confirm that it is a structure fire that they were working this morning since about 3 a.m. So a few hours later, and they're finally starting to wrap up again before those investigators get here. But you can see that they are doing the overhauling process. So we did see right now, if you look over there, we do have some investigators showing up to the scene at this time right now so they can figure out what exactly happened to this structure down here off of Rural Hill Road, just off of Murfreesboro Pike in Antioch. Now, again, still working to get more information again on how this started, but that is what these investigators are going to do out here this morning. A few hours later, they're starting to wrap it up. There was heavy smoke when we first got here, but it has since gone away. So that is all good news, knowing that there are no injuries as well. Again, we're here in Antioch for now, live. Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
It's 5:46 right now. Okay, the other day over on Facebook, I asked the question, how hot is it? And asked you to respond with your favorite little saying. It's so hot, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
It's so hot that a giant wax statue of President Lincoln is melting. Now, I don't know if you've seen this. It's trending online.
Poor guy. Poor past president.
He's had a rough few days.
All right.
So this is a 6-foot-tall wax replica of, well, what is obviously a landmark here in our country's capital, the Lincoln Memorial, created by an artist. It's been sitting outside of an elementary school since September.
Oh.
Surely, you know, when they put this thing together in the fall, they weren't
Okay.
considering what it might do when it gets to 100 degrees.
But hold on now. How did no one think that this might be an issue in the future?
Listen.
Was this supposed to be a statue that's going to be around for years?
What cracks me up, though, is you can't really see it from this angle. Maybe we'll catch it here in a different angle. Is his head melted backwards, so it looks like he
it's taking a little rest,
passed out or fell asleep.
This is currently very relatable for me, though. I told you my air conditioning is out.
We had to go the night with no air conditioning.
I hate those nights. I can't
survived.
Do we
one
pray
night.
for you or the husband more? Which one?
We're going to pray for him. I'm making it.
Okay.
I don't know how you're making that. That's
She's
rough.
a trooper. She's a tough one.
All right, well, hey, we're just going to start it out real quick. I guess we'll show you this visibility map. Not seeing really any visibility issues. Back there in our western counties, we were seeing a little bit of fog early this morning. Not seeing that right now, so good news right there. As far as any rain goes for us, it is still pretty dry across most of Middle Tennessee. As far as the active falling rain, we are still seeing just a few of these light showers just to the west of Nashville, west of Interstate 65. Right here around the McMinnville area, just north of McMinnville, a few showers there too. Also down in southern Franklin County, and that is about it. So overall, a pretty dry start for this morning. Temperatures there in the lower 70s. We're at 73 right here in Nashville. And then as we go throughout the rest of the day, not looking at much of a rain chance, but our southern and eastern counties, we could still get a few showers trying to develop in those areas, mainly through the morning hours. But we are going to start to clear out a lot better as we go through the rest of this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies, I think, for us in Nashville in late this afternoon. We have to wait a little bit longer on that. We are going to stay partly cloudy throughout a lot of the day. 90 degrees our high today. 93 on Friday, 97 the high on Saturday. Heat index values around the Nashville area could be around 105 on Saturday, closer to 110 around the Tennessee River. A better chance for showers and thunderstorms on Sunday.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get out to 65 at Trinity Lane on the north side of town. People still driving along with the lights on as the sun continues to climb up. But it is a little bit of a cloudy start here, so that's not all that surprising. Even though there is no rain this morning, we are in the clear with that. Also in the clear with any big accidents that could slow you down. So let's get to those drive times. Mount Juliet coming in at 29 minutes. Murfreesboro, 54 minutes. That time will rise up over an hour before the morning is over. 28 minutes so far from Franklin.
Listen, with the summer heat, we know summer is a time for swimming, and experts say it's really important to do so safely, especially after rip currents claimed 8 lives in just a couple of days.
Yeah, just a good time to remind you, especially if you're going out to the beach, maybe you're going down to the Gulf, 30A or something like that, that these rip currents are no joke. As Erica just mentioned, we have had 8 people die over a 4-day span, 2 of them dying off of Florida's eastern coast, but then we had 6 others in the Panhandle or the Gulf portion of Florida. So these rip currents will pull you away from the shore. And here's how you can spot a rip current. We're showing you a graphic here where the water flows differently in these areas. Typically, if there is a rip current, it will look like darker water or perhaps an area with no waves while there might be waves around it. So look for darker water and very calm water. And if you ever get trapped in a rip current, experts say stay calm and signal for help. Whether that's yelling or waving your arms just to try to get some help. The National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, that's also called NOAA, they suggest try to float to save energy, right? If you get caught in a rip current, or swim parallel to the shore. I remember growing up along the coast and my parents teaching us that if you ever get too far out and you feel like you can't get back in, swim along the coast, and typically you'll get a spot where that rip current doesn't pull you out anymore and you can get back in easier.
Yes, and please follow the red flag warnings.
Yeah.
Be safe. Coming up, Fox 17 News, we are following 3 different breaking news stories this Thursday morning. As multiple people were hurt regarding a shooting, a stabbing, and also a fire, we are live with some more updates.
And a move that could save folks on Medicare thousands of dollars on certain medications.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, our partner.
Welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. Hope your Thursday is off to a great start. Just a few minutes before 6 and a live look over at Nissan Stadium. Very misty, kind of foggy, dreary looking start to the day. When I was coming in earlier this morning, obviously it's, practically the middle of the night, but just that kind of a mist where you don't know whether to keep your wipers on or turn them off.
Yeah.
That weird in between. So just wanted to give you this live look, let you know you're going to see a lot of the same as you get out the door here on your Thursday morning. Take it easy out there. Roads are wet in a lot of spots from overnight storms and rain. We'll get an update on your forecast in just a few minutes.
In health news now, the Biden administration announcing some Medicare recipients, are going to save money on 64 prescription drugs this year. They say it's part of an effort to rein in big price hikes. The drugs are going to cost less from July 1st until the end of September. The included drugs treat illnesses like cancer, infections, and osteoporosis. The administration says some people can save more than $4,500 per day through this program. President Biden has made lowering drug costs, he says, a part of his re-election campaign. This announcement, though, coming before tonight's presidential candidate debate, where President Biden is going to face off with former President Donald Trump in Atlanta.
Yeah, the Biden administration has been trying to pull out all kinds of things here ahead of the debate, including topics that are connected to the border and illegal immigration. But interesting, so this program is just from July through September, that's it?
That's what they say.
Okay, all right, well, I guess take advantage of it while you can. Hey, check this out. We were just talking about the fight over Graceland earlier this hour. Now we're looking at Elvis memorabilia. The blue suede shoes that you would never want to step on are up for auction. Yeah, these are the famous blue suede shoes from Elvis Presley that are now on the auction block. There is a British auction house that is creating a starting opening bid at $70,000.
Oof, those are pricey shoes, aren't they? The historic kicks are expected to go for about $150,000, though. A lot more. The shoes are 10.5. Presley wore them on stage during, a lot of performances. One of my favorite, though, Hound Dog.
Yeah.
You know that song?
Is it just me, or are you guys surprised at the size of the shoe? For some reason, I would have thought he had a bigger shoe. I don't know why.
A bigger shoe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. Just
all right. Well, let's send it over to our own personal Elvis.
Our own personal Elvis.
That's what folks nickname Brett. I'm not making this up.
I mean, I do love Elvis, but no.
It's the hairdo.
But does he have the moves?
Okay,
No,
go ahead.
Definitely not. His moves, I can't dance at all. Well, hey, I will tell you about the rain real quick. Not seeing a whole lot of the rain going on the radar. It's still mostly dry, but we could still see a little bit of that mist that Jen was just telling you about that she was experiencing driving in. And that's what we're seeing, just these tiny little pockets of showers popping up right there on the radar, right around the Nashville area and just to the west of that a little bit too. Some heavier rain right here in the northern portions of Warren County, right there north of McMinnville. That's just some light to moderate rainfall right there, and that's about it. Most of the locations are pretty dry. Here's our current drought monitor map situation. None of us are in really any category of drought, that D1 to D4 drought. We do have abnormally dry conditions though down there still in our southwestern areas. This does not include the rain that we got yesterday, so that should help when the next map comes out a little bit later on.
Let's get to your steer clear traffic. We're just dealing with a major situation happening on I-65 near Old Hickory Boulevard. This is down in the Brentwood area. A few moments ago, there were lots of fire trucks here on this scene surrounding that 18-wheeler on the shoulder of the road. Whatever it is that brought them there, they were able to quickly take care of it and move on. So no more problems out there on 65 in Brentwood right now. We'll continue to follow things around the mid-state, but just know whatever situation that was there, 65 at Old Hickory Boulevard in Brentwood, has now cleared up.
All right, we're gonna brace ourselves for this story. We work to keep it together here. We go to Denmark, where cows and other livestock are apparently putting out too much gas, as in carbon emissions, and livestock farmers in Denmark are about to be taxed for that. Let's just put this in the column of things I never thought I'd talk about on the news, but here we are.
Well, yeah. So if you didn't know this, the average cow in Denmark produces, they say, more than 6 tons of greenhouse emissions every year.
Now, how do you measure that?
Well, I'm not sure how to measure it.
How do you measure that? Do you just stand around and you got a little
Listen,
baggy.
I'm just
and
here.
You're measuring
I'm just here to let y'all know that the tax is going into effect in 2030.
Don't try that here. Listen, we promised we were going to try to keep it together. This is us keeping it together.
The 6 o'clock hour is starting right now.
Hurry, fast.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, we are very glad to be here for you to kick off your Thursday morning, and we want to get straight to the top stories impacting so many communities. Several breaking news elements right now. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
I'm Erica Glover. Yeah, we're following 3 breaking stories this Thursday morning. It does include a shooting and a fire. But first, into our newsroom, we are now getting some more updates from Metro Police on the scene of a possible stabbing, I should say, in Bellevue.
Yeah, you know, and this comes on the heels after months of reports of crime in Bellevue. We've had neighbors sounding off saying something's got to be done. We had a teenager killed in a Bellevue park just a few weeks ago. So right now we have a crime scene that is at the Bellevue West Apartments. This is on Ridge Lake Parkway, just off Old Hickory, and that's where we find Fox 17 News reporter Johnny Maffey live.
Good morning. So what we know from a Metro police officer is they were called to the scene for a stabbing this morning. We're unsure if there was a stabbing or not, but one person was taken to the hospital. Right here we're on Ridge Lake Parkway, and there are at least a dozen law enforcement vehicles here. You can see the incident support vehicle just got here within the last 15 minutes or so, and the caution tape is over there. And if we pan down a little bit to the right as well, officers, detectives, investigators, they're all walking up the stairwell, if you can see it or not, to an apartment up there. And so we actually just did speak with some neighbors, one of them telling us that he heard some stuff going on a little bit earlier this morning. Dispatch got the call around 4:10. He said he was hearing things around 4:30 this morning. And another woman who just moved in September said, well, she's not surprised. This is a frequent thing going on. Now, we also, when I asked a Metro police officer standing right over there about a suspect, they said they couldn't share anything. They don't have information for me right now regarding that, but we are working to learn more. Again, we're here in Bellevue. One person taken to the hospital. They're called to the scene for a stabbing. Unsure exactly the condition of the person or the cause of the injuries taken to the hospital. Live this morning in Bellevue, I'm Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Johnny, thank you. And also breaking this Thursday morning, Metro dispatchers confirming that crews responded to a fire at a business located over on Murfreesboro Pike.
Right. This is the, we have mentioned the 2500 block of Murfreesboro Pike. This is just past B&A. And we understand this was the Nashville Adult Literacy Store. It's where we find Fox 17 News reporter Madeline Nolan with a live update.
That's right. The firefighters have since left the scene here, but we're getting a first look at the damage that was made to this building here. As you guys said, it's the Nashville Adult Literacy building. Still working to see exactly what they did here, but as you can see closely, the whole roof is completely gone. And then also, they also have all of the doors open, so you can probably guess that there's a lot of damage inside of that building that doesn't have the roof gone on that side. But this is directly behind the Larry's Restaurant and Bar just off of the Murfreesboro Pike. But this is down the road on Rural Hill Drive. We do have investigators out here right now determining the cause of this fire this morning. But the response, they got this call in around 3:15 a.m. and what time is it now? 6. 3 hours later, and they're just now leaving. But you can see how big this fire was by just looking at the damage. Completely destroyed this morning. Again, we're still working to get more information on what caused this building to burn just like this, but as we learn more, we'll be sure to keep you all updated. For now, live here in Nashville, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, that is a lot of damage there.
Yeah, it sure is. And we go now to Madison, where we have had more breaking news this morning. A shooting investigation underway right by Skyline Medical Center. This was the scene around 4 o'clock this morning at the 808 Apartments. This is, as I mentioned, right there by the hospital. There's a hotel, there's a car wash, very busy part of Madison.
Yeah, now officers at the scene telling us they're not sure whether or not the 2 teenagers involved were shot at this apartment complex or at a different location entirely. But we do know at least one of them was taken to the nearby hospital. Fox 17 News, we had the chance to catch up with a neighbor who happened to be awake and outside when police arrived on the scene.
I was completely surprised, you know. Like I said, I was just coming outside to take my morning stroll down the street and, you know, just completely taken aback by it. You know, didn't think something, you know, could happen to me like that, you know, just so close. But yeah, like I said, I'm totally surprised by it.
All right, so again, another case of young people being caught up in crime. 2 teenagers shot, and right now police say they don't have anybody in custody. We're also working to learn more about how these teenagers are doing. We know one of them went to the hospital. You can follow all of these breaking news stories along with us right here, live through 9 a.m. We'll also keep you posted over at fox17.com.
In Operation Crime and Justice, a disturbing case out of McDonald's. One man is now in custody in connection with a shooting and a carjacking at a drive-through line, again, at a McDonald's. Take a look at this photo. Police have arrested Ontario Graham for the shooting that happened back on April 17th at the McDonald's located on Nolensville Pike near I-440. Police say Graham shot at a man sitting in the drive-through lane in the face before ultimately stealing a woman's car.
The man survived that whole ordeal. The woman was not hurt. Graham is now facing a long list of charges, including attempted murder. On the weather, a big story yesterday. You know, we were in a code red weather alert, letting you know we were concerned that we could get some pretty nasty storms moving in yesterday. That did come to fruition, and we want to say thanks this morning to Brian Watt. He got some great time-lapse video of storms rolling in over Spring Hill yesterday. You can see the clouds get real dark, and then we get the downpour. I know a lot of y'all experienced this yesterday. I was leaving the YMCA in Springfield yesterday. And got stuck in it.
Meanwhile, I was running through the parking lot in Brentwood with the baby car seat, just trying to make it work. We're going to check in now for your Thursday forecast. Sunshine today, hopefully.
Yeah, I think we may have to wait a little bit later on in the day, but those clouds will start to break up, and some areas definitely will get some more sunshine later on in this afternoon. Right now, though, here in Nashville, it is still a cloudy start for us. 73 degrees, that's our current temperature in Nashville. As far as the radar goes and as far as the rain goes, not seeing much of it across most of Middle Tennessee or Southern Kentucky. Just a few light sprinkles out there. These are so small that you can hardly still see them on radar, just a little bit west of the Nashville area, also down there south of Lewisburg. And then over here, just north of McMinnville and parts of northern Warren County, still seeing some moderate rainfall going on right there. But that is about it. Nearly all other locations are off to a pretty dry start. Temperatures right now, they're in the 70s, 72 in Murfreesboro, 72 for Tullahoma, Lewisburg, McMinnville, a lot of lower 70s on the map early this morning. Later on today, we are going to start to see those clouds begin to clear on out a little bit better. 89 your temperature by 5 o'clock. Partly cloudy throughout most of the day, mostly sunny late this afternoon. We're at 97 for the high temperature on Saturday.
Steer clear traffic gets us out to the Brentwood area. I-65 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is out there in Brentwood. We were just dealing with this 18-wheeler that was surrounded by the Metro Fire Department a short time ago. They have come and gone, so they're doing much better out there right now. We do have a tow truck that you can't see. It's on the other side of the road that is out there that's going to tow this car away, so we'll continue to follow that scene throughout the morning.
Justin, thank you. Sumner County School Board members are trying to get teachers a raise, but there's a deep disagreement about how to make this happen.
Yeah, we're going to tell you why. There are some board members who say they don't want to have to choose between bleachers.
6:11 is the time. School boards across the mid-state are trying to solve the same problem, and that's how to keep teachers in their schools. Now, one way to do this is by paying them more. Sumner County Schools wants to pay their teachers $50,000 a year, but they also want to build brand new stadiums and have other upgrades. You may remember Sumner County was the place where they had the bleachers collapse inside of one of their stadiums just last year. Some school board members say it's making for some very tough choices.
Aside from interactions at home, teachers and assistants have the greatest impact on students. Not what color brick is at a stadium. And so if I have to choose bleachers or teachers at this point, I choose teachers.
I'm all for it. I want to get to 50,000, I want to get to 55,000. But I also have to live in a world that tells me that right now, our county commission is going to most likely set the tax rate at certified neutral.
So what did they vote on? Well, they didn't get the teachers the $50,000 they were looking for. Instead, they got to $47,500. They want to ask the county commission for more money so they can give the teachers the raise that they want. Let's talk about the Supreme Court. They appear to be ready to allow emergency abortions in states like Idaho. That's according to Bloomberg News, which obtained a copy of a draft opinion posted to the High Court's website, which has since been removed. It shows that the justices would rule 6-3 to reinstate lower court orders, and it would allow Idaho hospitals to perform emergency abortions despite the state's strict ban on the procedure. Now, it's unclear if this was the justice's final decision or not. The court admitted to posting the document by mistake. The Supreme Court decision would set legal precedent for the nation, including Tennessee, which has a very similar abortion law to the one in Idaho.
And not seeing a whole lot of rain on radar. It is a cloudy start, though, for us right now. And we're going to be seeing those clouds stick around with us throughout most of the morning hours. Later on this afternoon, that'll begin to clear on up. I'll show you what the rest of your week and your weekend is looking like in just a bit.
And clear traffic at I-65 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is out in Brentwood, dealing with the leftovers of a disabled tractor trailer. We're going to tell you why this drew a lot of attention a little bit later. And the eyes of the nation are going to be down towards Atlanta. That is where the former president and the current president will face off in a debate. We're going to tell you what you can expect from each side coming up.
Rough start to this Thursday. We have had several breaking news stories involving shootings, stabbings, and fires. All right, and I know that's a lot of tough news, but these are high-impact stories that are going to impact many of your communities. So we want to begin right now with what's happened in Bellevue. This has unfortunately been a hot spot for crime this summer.
Yeah, so we're checking in with our Fox 17 News reporter Johnny Maffey. Police say they're at the Bellevue West Apartments. It's located on Ridge Lake Parkway, which is just off of Old Hickory Boulevard. Johnny, you've been out there for about an hour or so. What is the latest update?
Well, we've been talking to some neighbors this morning, but first off, I want to say that Metro Police tell us that one person was taken to the hospital. They got a stabbing call around 4:30 this morning. We got to the scene just after 5 a.m., and there have been cruisers not leaving but coming in. About a dozen or so law enforcement vehicles we're counting. Now, there was one big van, an incident command vehicle that might be going up and around. They turn their lights on because if we go over to the right here, officers and investigators have been walking up a set of stairs towards an apartment up there. Now, again, it was around 4:30 this morning, and one neighbor did say he heard some commotion around that time, and dispatch was telling us that's a little after when they got the call. But yes, one person taken to the hospital. We're unsure any information about a suspect, but when you guys were talking about sort of a string of crimes here, well, one neighbor was out walking her dog. She lives down the street that way. She saw the cruisers over here, walked over, and we asked, hey, has this been happening a lot? She said she moved here in September, and she said, yes, it's frequent. She said it could be as often as every day, but definitely a few dozen times. Again, just since the school year started back in September when she moved here. So we'll be following this information and trying to learn more from Metro Police as well as the investigators here on the scene as cruisers keep filing in here to Ridge Lake Parkway. Live in Bellevue, I'm Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Thank you very much, Johnny. Do appreciate you. 6:17 right now. We do want to get a check of the forecast with Brett. Brett, you know, rain makes the corn.
Rain makes the corn, that's right.
And corn makes the...
Yep, corn makes whiskey, rain makes corn.
There you go. We were going to set you up there.
Yeah.
You got it. We can't get
We don't have to finish
you.
the rest of it, but we think y'all know the lyrics after that.
Yeah, I think most people probably know that
whiskey
song.
Whiskey makes my baby.
We're going to check in now.
Right,
on that note.
Good song.
All right, so here's
we needed the rain.
We did need the rain, and we're still about 1.5 inches or so in the hole right here in Nashville. So that rain that we got yesterday is going to help out with that. We picked up a little over 0.6 of an inch of rain in Nashville right there at the airport for that official reading. Not seeing a whole lot going on radar, at least across Middle Tennessee or Southern Kentucky. It is still pretty dry. We have just a few very light showers, and I've been saying this all morning, but you can just really hardly even see those little spots. They're so light popping up right there on the radar, mainly west of Interstate 65. We do have this pocket of moderate rainfall, though, in northern portions of Warren County, right there north of McMinnville. Again, light to moderate rainfall in some of those areas, but that's about it. Nearly everybody else off to a dry start this morning. Current temperatures, they're in the 60s and 70s, upper 60s, Cookeville and Clarksville, 71 in Lebanon, 73 here in Nashville, and we're at 72 in Clarksville. So overall, not too bad of a start for us. As we go throughout the rest of the day, I think we're looking at mostly dry conditions, but still some showers possible in our southern and eastern counties.
Steer clear traffic gets us out this morning to I-24 near Hickory Hollow Parkway. We are dealing with moderate traffic out there. We were just dealing with a small slowdown here a short time ago. We've been able to get that out of the way and unclogged essentially, so we're doing much better here. But the drive time has started to increase coming in from Antioch over the last few moments here. Let's show you that along with the rest of the drive times here. Mount Juliet at 29 minutes, Murfreesboro at just over an hour now for the first time this morning. Franklin still doing good at 28 minutes, so we'll continue to follow that. We're also following things out towards the airport. Keep in mind they're doing a lot of road work out there as they transform the area around BNA. Over the next few years, they'll be doing work.
Justin, thanks. Making headlines here on this Thursday is what is coming up later tonight. We go to Atlanta this morning, where the first presidential debate for 2024 will happen tonight. A lot of questions as to what to expect here.
Yeah, so both sides have agreed, though, to new ground rules in an effort to prevent the confusion, if you might remember this, from their first go-around during the 2020 election. But listen, there have been plenty of jabs leading up to tonight. Republicans are taking aim at Biden's mental fitness, while Democrats are questioning whether or not Trump is going to be truthful. Go ahead and listen here.
Our current president up to the task mentally to actually be engaged for 90 minutes in a debate. We've seen that the Justice Department deemed him too elderly and forgetful to be held to stand trial.
You cannot get into this tit for tat on every issue. There's no question that Donald Trump will say things that are false, demonstrably not true. You're not the person there to correct him on everything.
All right, that was the perspective on how the moderator should handle the debate tonight. There will be no studio audience for this debate, and only the candidate who's been addressed by the moderators will have their mic turned on. They say the idea here is to prevent interruptions and speaking over one another, which is what led President Biden to, you may remember this, to tell Mr. Trump to, quote, shut up, back in 2020.
This Thursday morning, we were asking a question over on our Fox Nashville X account. Here's the question. Are you planning to watch the debate tonight between President Biden and former President Donald Trump? 58% of you all say yes. We are going to have extensive coverage, though, on Fox 17 News at 9 during our nightly newscast, as well as online, of course, at fox17.com.
I've seen some people on social media say they're going to grab the popcorn.
I heard a lot of folks saying that.
Play drinking games.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Based on what candidates say or don't say.
That could get interesting.
It could get, just don't drive, okay? Hey, listen, as the effects of severe weather continue, the partial failure of the Rapidan Dam in Minnesota has now forced a local landmark into the Blue Earth River. You may remember we were showing you some of this video yesterday morning. Unfortunately, things got worse. Watch there. That home just fell into the river. And get this, an 11-year-old boy recorded this video.
Wow, so this house belonged to the owners of the Rapidan Dam store, but fortunately the family that lived there, they had already evacuated. The ground underneath that home that we're showing you video of had been undermined by the water rushing around the 114-year-old dam.
Wow. That's incredible. All right, still to come here on Fox 17 News this morning, soccer superstar Lionel Messi coming back to Nashville.
Well, let's talk about what's happening over at Geodis Park. That's a live look there right now. Through the fog, it is there. Home of Nashville SC there at the fairgrounds, and they are preparing for a pretty big weekend that's coming up there at Geodis Park as Inter Miami is coming there, and of course they've got a big superstar.
Lionel Messi will be back in Nashville. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. All right, let's talk baseball. The Vols, fresh off their national championship win, and listen, one of the big reasons for their success this season is the guy you see right here behind us. Head coach Tony Vitello. He has led this team to records all year, named the National Coach of the Year just last night.
This is a big honor. This is not the conference Coach of the Year. No. National. Watch him get the Gatorade right there, or the Powerade, or maybe the Prime. Who knows what they're calling it these days. But he's in a big celebration out there. This is coming from the Baseball Coaches Association, who gave him this honor yesterday. Yeah, he's hyped up, psyched up, and ready. He led the Vols to their first ever College World Series championship. He also helped them set the single season record for wins, 60 wins, making them the very first SEC team to reach the 60-win mark.
I don't know about y'all, but watching him just gets me fired up. I mean, he is so jazzed. Vols also the fourth conference team to win the SEC regular season title, then the tournament title, and the College World Series in the same year. So the accolades continue to pile on for the Vols. And mind you, they're in the middle of a huge renovation over at the baseball stadium on Rocky Top, and that is going to continue.
Football stadium too.
Yeah. All right, let's get a quick check of your forecast. We did have those storms fire off yesterday as we expected. You know, we went into that code red weather alert just to keep you prepared. And as we go into today, your Thursday, might still see a shower or two pop up this morning, but then hopefully things will clear out. A high of 90 today, 93 on Friday, and then we do get more chances for storms as we get into the weekend.
Steer clear traffic out there for you at 627. Here's a look at I-24 Waldron Road. This is out in Rutherford County. Traffic out there moving along pretty well, honestly, for this time of the morning. We're seeing some slowdowns closer to the Antioch area, but here there are no big problems. Let me tell you quickly about the 65 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This was surrounded by fire trucks earlier in the morning. Whatever they found, they were able to take care of it quickly and move out of the way. There is a tow truck that is there. You can't see it. It's just off screen, but they're waiting for additional support so they can tow this truck out of the way.
One of the breaking news stories that we've been following all morning is the fire at a literacy center not far from the airport. We'll get the latest.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
6:30 is the time. Thank you so much for joining us here on a busy Thursday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be here for you as your live local news source through 9 a.m. And we are working to keep you continuously updated on the three big breaking news stories here this Thursday morning. They're all in the mid-state, impacting different communities around town. We begin right now in Bellevue, where Metro Police first got the calls regarding a stabbing at an apartment complex. We have our Fox 17 News reporter Johnny Maffey out there live, though. And Johnny, I understand you just got some brand new information.
Yeah, that's right, Jen. So we've been talking to neighbors who are up early this morning, and one of them drove by and said he heard gunshots around 4:30 this morning. He said he heard 4 of them, so I went up. I asked a Metro police officer if that was related to this scene, and he said it was. Again, originally called for a stabbing, and they did tell us one person was taken to the hospital. We're unknown about that person's condition at the time, but there were gunshots this morning as well. Let's show you the scene here. We're on Ridge Lake Parkway. There's some caution tape up here. About a dozen or so law enforcement cars, including several Metro cruisers. And so investigators, if we zoom in over here, have been walking up and down this hill. There's even more caution tape up there. And there was an incident command vehicle, one of those vans that you see on some of these serious scenes, that was here as well this morning. I'm not sure if they moved on the property or if they left the scene. But again, a lot of law enforcement, a lot of investigators right here, Ridge Lake Parkway, one person taken to the hospital. Shots were fired this morning. It is all related to that, originally a stabbing call, but again, a few confusing different points on this. So we're trying to work to learn more and break it all down for you right here on Fox 17. And we will be following it through our 7 o'clock hour as well. Live in Bellevue, I'm Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Johnny, thank you. Also breaking this Thursday morning, the Nashville Fire Department is working to go ahead and figure out the cause of an early morning fire at a business over in Antioch. We were there this morning getting us some video of the scene. Look at this. Multiple crews responding to the fire on Murfreesboro Pike. We're told the call initially coming in around 3 a.m. So Nashville crews say the fire broke out at a building behind Larry's Ultra Lounge. Right now, though, we're still making calls trying to figure out exactly what that building is.
It looked to be an adult literacy center, and our Madison Nolan was out there live just about 45 minutes ago, and she could see a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah, to the back of that building.
Yeah, and in fact, while she was out there, we saw a fire show back up again. They might have been trying to make sure all the hot spots were out. So we will follow this story for you if we get any hot spots that flare up or learn more about the business impacted. We'll be bringing you those updates live through 9.
We're also getting some more updates from Madison. We are learning more about a shooting investigation that is happening right now. Again, this is in Madison. To give you an idea of where this is happening, this was a scene just over an hour ago at 808 Apartments on Skyline Ridge Drive. It is just north of the Skyline Medical Center. Officers who were there working this scene tell us they're not sure whether the 2 teenagers were shot at the apartment complex or a different location. What we do know is that at least one of the teenagers was taken to the hospital. Fox 17 News, we caught up with a neighbor earlier when we were live at the scene who says he was up at the time walking around and saw all of this happening in his neighborhood.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like I said, we got cameras. You know, we get the police roll by here. Everybody, you know, you see the presence. So you know, I feel safe. You know, nah, man, just you know, like I said, I'm definitely in shock this morning. You know.
Police say right now they don't have anybody in custody. We're working to learn more as well about those 2 teenagers shot. We know one of them did go to the hospital, so we're trying to find out their condition. You can follow all of our updates with us right here on the air. We've always got you covered live through 9, and we'll be updating you at fox17.com and through our social media sites.
We're also following up on our Code Red weather alert from yesterday. Now, this video, it might seem like, well, what's happening? What is in this video that I need to watch out for? It's called a gustnado. It's a brief whirlwind that forms on the leading edge of a storm. I know, Jen, we were watching this video earlier, and I was wondering, where is it? I can't see it.
Yeah, honestly, that tractor trailer kind of blocks it, and it's not like a tornado. I mean, it looks like maybe a little dust devil, right? I mean, if you've ever seen a dust devil, one that might flare up at the beach or something like that. But nonetheless, we just wanted to say thanks to our Fox 17 viewer who sent in the video for us. You know, y'all do a great job of sending us your best shots when weather happens, so keep those coming. Brent might use them during his forecast.
Oh yeah, I love showing those, and we got several cool shots that y'all sent in yesterday too. I'll try to get some of those up here in just a little bit. Some awesome shelf clouds as those storms were rolling through, the gustnado video. A lot of really cool stuff coming in from y'all yesterday. It helps us out too, seeing what's out there. Right now, live look over Broadway, 73 degrees right here in Nashville. Off to a cloudy start, a few showers out there. Not seeing a whole lot of shower activity right now though, and these showers are going to clear out as we go on into the later part of today for most areas. We could still see a little bit more develop a little bit later on in our southern and eastern counties as a little disturbance tries to move over. That'll be a little bit later this afternoon. Right now, though, most areas off to a dry start. Just a few sprinkles out there. The only exception, a little pocket of moderate rainfall right there north of McMinnville. Current temperatures for everybody else, we're in the lower 70s, mainly 69 in Cookeville, 68. That's the current temperature over there in Clarksville. As we go through the rest of the day, partly cloudy skies throughout most of the day. Late this afternoon, I think we'll finally get to the mostly sunny skies. Upper 80s, your temperature by 5 o'clock, and your 7-day forecast. Lower 90s for us on Friday. Saturday, we're in the upper 90s. There's a 30% chance for showers and thunderstorms on Saturday. A better rain chance on Sunday.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's take a good look here at I-65 at Trinity Lane, just north of downtown. We are dealing with a good traffic flow out there this morning. No big slowdowns out there so far that could hold you up. People still kind of keeping their lights on in certain locations to make their way into downtown. But there is nothing significant that's going to slow you up in a big way. 24 Haywood Lane in Antioch also looking really good so far. No major crashes, but we are in that 6 o'clock hour where things can change and change quickly.
Justin, thank you. Hey, did you see Morgan Wallen over in Omaha in the stands? Well, now he has a unique message for the Vols baseball team after their historic win.
And still to come on Fox 17 News this morning in our 7 o'clock hour. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Time right now, 6:40. Country star Morgan Wallen is congratulating Tennessee baseball and their big win. Did you know this? Little fact here about Morgan Wallen. He wanted to go play college and Major League Baseball.
Okay.
And was a very serious baseball player.
Okay.
And damaged his elbow.
Oh.
And was done. So his baseball career was over. But he is a huge fan. And now he's hinting at a bit of a surprise.
Okay, for the Tennessee baseball team, he's congratulating the team for beating Texas A&M 6-5 to secure their very first College World Series championship. Listen to this.
But you guys, man, y'all make me proud to be from Tennessee. Make me proud to represent the Vols. And, yeah, enjoy this moment. Be proud of it.
All right. So Wallen also said that the team was very welcoming in Omaha, and now he wants to, quote, return the favor. So this leads us up to what I was mentioning a second ago about this surprise, maybe in a few weeks here.
Yeah, Wallen into the video says he's looking forward to seeing the team soon.
You know what's going on. You know what about it? It's about to go down.
Concert, essentially, for the Vols and all their friends and family. You know, maybe the city of Knoxville in general. I don't know.
That's the vibe I'm picking up on. I'm thinking celebratory concert. For the Vols, or maybe Vols Nation. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see what happens then. Let's talk to Brett right now. He's got to look at your forecast here for this Thursday. And Brett, what are you showing us here? Storm reports.
Yeah, so this is from the storms that moved through yesterday. These are all the storm reports that we had, and this was basically a wind event like we were talking about yesterday. It kind of had the setup for that, and that's exactly what we saw. All these little white circles, those are all wind reports that we had from yesterday. We had some strong winds. Some of those severe thunderstorm warnings were issued for winds gusting potentially up to 60 miles per hour. So a lot of those right here in the parts of Williamson County, Davidson County, also into areas like Rutherford County too. Here's a really cool shot we got sent in. Our viewer sent this into us. This is from Kyle B. This is a really cool shot of the shelf cloud. Some of that scud that's hanging down, just those ragged clouds hanging down at the bottom of that shelf cloud too. This is on that leading edge of the storm, that line of storms as they're moving in. Those always look so cool, seeing those and nice shots of the shelf clouds. Thanks a lot for sending that picture in to us. As far as any rain goes right now, really not seeing much of that at all. It is nearly all dry. Just a few light showers out there right now. As we go through the rest of the day here in Nashville, should see temperatures in the lower 80s by noon. By 2 o'clock, we'll be in the upper 80s, and we're going to stay in the upper 80s by 4 o'clock.
Steer clear traffic. Let's get a good look here at I-24 Haywood Lanes. You make that drive in from the Antioch area. We're doing okay so far on the drive. No big problems in either direction. Nice to see so far. We're going to continue to follow the traffic out there for you, but right now everybody's in the green other than congestion at the normal spots.
Coming up after the break right here on Fox 17, we continue to follow a shooting that happened in Bellevue. We have a brand new update from Metro Police.
And Good morning and welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. It is 6:45. We have a breaking news update from Bellevue right now. Just moments ago, we got word from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the TBI, that a 25-year-old man has died after a confrontation with police. This has happened at the live location where Johnny Maffey has been reporting.
Yeah, it's at the Bellevue West Apartments located over on Ridge Lake Parkway. It is just off of Old Hickory Boulevard. Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey sharing some more breaking news updates.
Good morning, Jen and Erico. So that's right. We've been following this and learning more and more every time we check in. A 25-year-old man was shot and killed by a police officer, like you guys mentioned. Now, neighbors are telling us the shots they heard were around 4:30 this morning. Let's show you the scene right now. Some caution tape over here. Well over a dozen police vehicles and law enforcement vehicles. And yes, TBI is on the scene. They are investigating. Now, we're learning that it was originally a stabbing call, which the 25-year-old was trying to stab his 27-year-old brother. An update now on that stabbing victim. Well, the 27-year-old brother is at the hospital, but with non-life-threatening injuries. So again, one person shot here by police officers as he was trying to stab his brother, and that brother is now in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And we're continuing to follow this. We've been talking to neighbors this morning who, a lot of them are surprised when they asked us what was going on, but some of them did say that there was a shooting over here in Bellevue this month, and there has been sort of a string and uptick in the recent months as well. So we're on it all this morning through 7 a.m. They're only live in local station when we change over at 7 a.m. Right here on Fox 17. Now we'll send it back to the studio.
Johnny, thanks for that update. Right now, in health headlines, there's a new study out that suggests melatonin supplements might help you with more than just a good night's sleep. They might also slow down a common eye disease.
Yeah, so it's called age-related macular degeneration, and it's the most common cause of severe vision loss in older adults. The study went ahead and followed more than 120,000 patients over the age of 50 without AMD, and they found, yes, taking melatonin was linked to a reduced risk of developing this disease.
And for more than 66,000 people with slowly developing AMD, melatonin seemed to be less likely to progress to severe stages.
We've learned that melatonin obviously has some really potent antioxidant effects and also has some benefits in regards to pigment within the retina.
Now, Dr. Singh, who you just heard from there, says if you are considering taking melatonin for your eyes, you should talk to your eye doctor before you make that decision.
Take a look at this. This year's Gerber baby officially selected. It's Akio, who also goes by Sonny. The 1-year-old from Arizona says that he loves reading his squishy ABC book, watching football, and hanging out with his family. The company says that Sonny's smile is now going to be seen on Gerber's marketing campaigns and social media. If you're curious, the family who wins the Gerber Baby Challenge gets a $25,000 prize and then free products from Gerber and, of course, other companies.
Where's Ryman?
I know. We could definitely.
I mean, that baby is cute.
We could definitely use some free stuff.
Ryman's cuter.
Thanks,
I'm just
Jen.
saying.
Well, if you had to do the selection, it's good to know Ryman would win.
She'd be winning in my books. All right, a story trending recently. Raising Cane's making its debut in Nashville with a brand new location downtown. Could get you some chicken fingers. This is posted right now in our website, fox17.com. In the gallery section, we've got a ton of pictures. Ribbon cutting just yesterday. They're calling it the flagship store in Nashville with the country music flair.
Yeah. I mean, I want to get over there. I want to get the toast. I want to get the chicken fingers, Brett.
What about the sauce?
What about the parking?
Well,
where am I going to park at to go get my chicken?
Good point on that.
So what we need to do is you just pull up. I'll run out.
Pull up and they just drop it off through your window.
Ooh,
see, I like that. Curbside. Curbside service.
Do y'all like Raising Cane's?
I love it.
I know, it's one of my
favorites. I used to drive to Smyrna when I was pregnant.
Really?
To go get it.
I'm going to be the unpopular opinion here, but I don't get it. It's not that I'm not a fan. It's just I don't get the hype. I had it. The first time I ever had Raising Cane's was in Mississippi. Okay, we were in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I'd never even heard of it, and everybody was hyping it up, and we go, and I'm like, it's good.
So,
but I think there are just so many options, right? You've got Slim Chickens, you've got Zaxby's, you've got Chick-fil-A, you've got Raising Cane's.
So when I worked in Kentucky, in Hazard,
yeah.
When University of Kentucky won their football games, everyone got free Raising Cane's.
Oh, fun.
That's cool.
Loved it.
I mean, it's good. I like it. I heard the sauce is the thing.
The sauce is good.
At Raising Cane's, yeah.
The breading's good. It's crispy. The chicken's very juicy. It's always hot. I don't know. It's good. Anyways, here's a little bit about the rain.
Now we're all
a little
hungry.
bit of time to work with, but some showers going on across parts of Middle Tennessee. Most of it, though, just very, very light. Not seeing much heavy rainfall at all. The heaviest that we have, that's over here around the McMinnville area. Just a little pocket of moderate rainfall right there. Temperatures are in the 70s right now, 73. That's our current temperature here in Nashville. And as we go throughout the rest of the day, most areas will stay dry. A little bit later on this afternoon, a disturbance could move through. That could bring in some showers to our southern and eastern counties. Not expecting really anything too bad with that, though. Real quick look at the 7-day forecast. 97 on Saturday. A better chance for showers and thunderstorms for the later part of the weekend.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Severe weather hammered areas of Oklahoma City Tuesday night. This time lapse shows the storm rolling into the city over Lake Hefner, and later at another location packing damaging winds and lots of lightning. More than 900 miles to the northeast, the sound of wind and a show of lightning in Grand Rapids that same night. Also in Michigan, about 150 miles to the north, this gorgeous sunrise captured in Traverse City.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
6:52, I want to tell you about something happening with Steer Clear traffic as we are dealing with a disabled vehicle here on the shoulder of the road, I-40 near Stewart's Ferry Pike. They've got one of the TDOT workers there on the scene right now trying to help the driver out. They're digging around in the trunk. Typically, that means they're trying to replace a flat tire. As a matter of fact, you see them putting away that flat tire lift there, that car lift there that can help people change a flat tire sitting there on the shoulder. So this may not be with us for much longer. Minor delays coming in from the Hermitage area. We'll continue to tell you about other things happening around town coming up in a few.
Justin, thanks. Hey, race weekend on the way, and we got a country music superstar who's going to hit the track. We'll tell you who's running in the pace car.
And coming up this morning during Fox 17 News during our 7 o'clock hour, the airport. A lot of folks are going to be heading there for the holidays next week. Our Fox 17 News reporter, Madeline Nolan, going to share what you need to think about before packing up.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are part.
Welcome back. 6:55 is the time, and right now we're showing you a live look of Lower Broadway. We just talked about the Raising Cane's that opened yesterday in this area.
Yep.
So you can head on down there and check it out. If you want some updates about the time of when they're open, we have that, fox17.com. It's a slow start this Thursday down there.
It is.
Not a lot happening.
It is nice and quiet. But hey, if you got to get down there for an appointment or whatnot, no traffic to get in your way. Keep it here. We will continue to take live looks throughout the Mid-State all morning, live through 9.
Well, talking about Lower Broadway and country music superstar Luke Combs has a big responsibility this Sunday during the Ally 400 over at Nashville Superspeedway.
Yeah, he's going to drive the honorary pace car. He gets behind the wheel of a 2024 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Man, that would be tempting. Got to keep it chill, Luke. He served as the race's honorary grand marshal back in 2021.
My mind just went to you driving one of those vehicles.
What were you thinking?
Rev it up, Jen.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my
Pedal
goodness.
to the metal.
Hey, hopefully the weather cooperates this weekend for all of that going on there.
Hammer down, Brett.
You know, I hope it cooperates too. I think we will see a chance for some showers and thunderstorms though. Saturday, some of those could be a little bit more scattered, and then Sunday I think is going to be the better rain chance for us here across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. Radar right now not showing a whole lot of activity. Still just a little bit of this mist going on that we have over there, kind of around the Dickson area. And then McMinnville, just a little bit of that more moderate rainfall right there around and just north of McMinnville. Drought monitor map overall not too bad. We are still in the hole for rain for the month at least in Nashville, but as far as the drought conditions go, nobody in that moderate to exceptional drought. Just abnormally dry conditions for those shades of yellow down there, mainly in our southwestern counties. That map does not include any of the rain that we got yesterday, and some areas did get some pretty good rainfall, a little over 0.6 of an inch of rain right here in Nashville yesterday. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s, 68 Crossville, that's going to be the lowest spot on the map, 72 in Murfreesboro, 73 here at Nashville, 72 the current temperature up there in Clarksville. As we head on into the weekend, it's going to be a warm Saturday for us, so we're going to start it out warm. 97 your high temperature on Saturday. Humidity will start to build up. Heat index values around 100 or so, or a little bit higher along the plateau, closer to 105 here in Nashville, and then around the Tennessee River it could be feeling like it's about 110 degrees on Saturday. Sunday is still going to be a warm one too. Temperatures in the lower 90s. There's a 60% chance for showers and thunderstorms on Sunday.
Brett, thank you so much. At 6:57, let's do a quick check of your Steer Clear traffic updates to get you out the door and hopefully save you some time. That's always our goal. Here is a live look in Antioch. This is I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Not a lot of folks out there right now, surprisingly. This looks really good. No brake checks, no issues. We'll continue sharing all of your live and local Steer Clear traffic updates throughout 9 o'clock, though.
Heads up here this morning, we have a recall alert involving Volkswagen. They're recalling more than 250,000 SUVs. There's a wiring issue that can turn off the passenger side airbag even when someone is in the seat. You know, they've got all these sensors now that will make sure if the seat is weighted, if someone's in it, that the airbag is on. We've got 271,000 of the Volkswagen Atlas SUVs included in this recall.
Once the parts are ready, though, dealers are going to get some replacement information regarding the faulty parts for free. If you want to read more about this recall alert, head on over to fox17.com.
Getting closer to the Summer Olympics day by day, and the mayor of Paris assuring Olympians that the River Seine will be ready for the Olympics and safe for all of the events. Mayor Anne Hidalgo saying just yesterday that the river will be safe for swimming, even promising to take a dip herself before the athletes do. I don't know if you guys have been following this, but there had been some questions as to the safety here.
Well, Hidalgo had been set to swim in the river last Sunday, but then canceled due to the weather. The city of Paris even launching a website to post daily measures of E. coli taken from samples of this river. Marathon swimming, though, is scheduled for August 8th and August 9th, while the triathlon takes place July 30th and the 31st.
Hey, let's see what's trending this morning. In other words, what are y'all most interested in reading about? Well, the #1 trending story we're taking a look at here is the Wilson County Tennessee State Fair. We've got a concert lineup.
You know who's going to be there? Chapel Hart. Yeah.
That's a great bit of the lineup.
Yeah.
And by the way, don't forget, in addition to all the concerts that were just announced, we have all of the traditional fair exhibits. So the agriculture tents, you know, the best in show, the pies, the funnel cakes, like little pig races. All the things that you have come to know and love about the Tennessee State Fair happening at the Wilson County Fairgrounds. You want to read more about it? Head to fox17.com right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Thanks so much for joining us here on a busy Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Fox 17 News is always your only live local news source through 9 a.m. Those other stations go to national pre-recorded network programming, but we've got you covered live and local for the next 2 hours.
And right now we are following 3 breaking stories this morning. The first takes us to Bellevue at an apartment complex. That is where police say officers shot and killed a stabbing suspect early this morning.
Such a disturbing start to the day here for this neighborhood. Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey joining us live. He's been following this story for hours. He's got an update now just off Old Hickory Boulevard in Bellevue.
Good morning, Jen and Erica. So what we're learning is a 25-year-old was stabbing his 27-year-old brother right here near Ridge Lake Parkway, and then that's when an officer shot the 25-year-old brother and killed him. Now the 27-year-old who was being stabbed, he was taken to the hospital. We're learning there were non-life-threatening injuries, and they got this call right here, again, around Ridge Lake Parkway around 4:30 this morning, and a neighbor even drove by and did tell us that he heard those gunshots right around then. There's caution tape. There's more than a dozen law enforcement vehicles. You can certainly see the Metro Police cruisers and investigators. They keep walking up and down that hill, and there is some caution tape up there as well, so that's sort of that perimeter they set around the scene, so we can assume that it happened in this area right here. Now, it was originally just a stabbing call, and that's what we were reporting earlier this morning, but again, learning all this new information right here on Fox 17. Another note, TBI is on the scene investigating, and we will continue to follow this story, as neighbors have been surprised, they've been concerned, and we've been talking with them about this story and about the situation and sort of a string of crimes here in Bellevue. So we'll check back in a little bit. Live here from Bellevue, Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Johnny, thank you for that breaking news update. Also this morning, crews are working to determine the cause of a fire at a business in Antioch. We're going to show you some video from this breaking news scene earlier this morning, just off Murfreesboro Pike. Yeah, so our Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan was out there giving us a better view, and we're going to show you video again of the fire that broke out at a building right behind Larry's Ultra Lounge. We don't have that video just yet. We're going to work on getting it. It's also the Nashville Adult Literacy where this fire happened. Yeah, that's the building that's right behind Larry's. Firefighters able to finally get that fire out around 6 o'clock this morning. The good news here, no injuries reported. We'll continue to follow this breaking news story live through 9. And now to our next breaking news story as we get some more updates about a shooting investigation. This one is over in Madison. The scene earlier this morning over at the 808 Apartments on Skyline Ridge Drive. This is right by Skyline Medical Center. Officers telling us that they are still trying to figure out where the 2 teens were shot. Like, for example, did it happen at this apartment complex, or were they shot somewhere else and got dropped off here? That's what they're still working to find out. We also know one of those teenagers did go to the hospital. We're working to get an update on their condition and find out who, if anybody in particular, police are looking for. In the meantime, we had a chance to talk with a neighbor.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like I said, we got cameras. You know, we get the police roll by here. Everybody, you know, you see the presence. So you know, I feel safe. You know, nah, man, just you know, like I said, I'm definitely in shock this morning. You know. Well, as of right now, police say no one is in custody. Fox 17 News, though, working to get some more updates as we learn the conditions of those 2 teenagers who were shot. You can follow all of our breaking news updates, of course, on air, but also online. We have this story for you over on fox17.com.
And we had a round of active weather move through yesterday. We had some strong winds. Severe thunderstorm warnings had to be issued for parts of Middle Tennessee as well. Not seeing anything like that right now, though. All that has moved on out of here. Just a few very light showers is what we're left with back here in the parts of Middle Tennessee. A few of those right there near the Dickson area, right there along Interstate 40. And then down here around McMinnville, still seeing that little pocket of a little bit more moderate rainfall. And that's about it. Nearly all other locations are off to a dry start this morning. Temperatures right now, they're in the 70s for most locations. 73 right here in Nashville. Lower 70s for most of us this morning. 72 in Murfreesboro, also down in Tullahoma. McMinnville the same way. 71 in Dickson, also in Lebanon. 72 up there in Clarksville. As we go through the rest of the day, we are going to warm up, but honestly, today is not going to be too terribly warm. 83 by noon, 89 your temperature by 5 o'clock. We have been warmer in the previous days, and then later on this weekend, we're going to start to warm up again from where we go today. I think Saturday we could have highs in the upper 90s. There's that 30% chance for some showers and a few thunderstorms. Humidity values, though, are going to be pretty high on Saturday. Could feel like it's about 105 here in Nashville, maybe even a little bit higher, and then closer to 110 around the Tennessee River.
Steer clear traffic gets you started this morning at I-65 at Dickerson Pike, just north of town. You can see it there for yourself. TDOT is on the scene dealing with one car that is disabled there. You can see it with the flashers on. So they're working to get that car out of the way there on the north side, causing minor delays at best. Not a big one, though. Not a big delay there coming in from the north side there for you this morning near Dickerson Pike as you go towards Trinity Lane. Here's a look at a bit of a slowdown on I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is in the Antioch area around exit 61 there. Keep in mind the traffic moving from Murfreesboro into Nashville is going to take you about an hour at this point, but no major accidents to hold you up.
Justin, thank you. At 7:06 right now in Operation Crime and Justice, we have an update this morning to a story that we brought you earlier this year. We have a man in custody now in connection to a shooting and a carjacking that happened at a McDonald's drive-through line.
Such a scary situation. Take a look at your screen because police have arrested this man, Ontario Graham, for the shooting that happened back on April 17th at the McDonald's located over on Nolensville Pike right near I-440. Well, police say Graham shot a man sitting in the drive-through line in the face before ultimately stealing a woman's car. The man survived this ordeal, but the woman also not hurt. That's the good news there. Graham, though, is facing multiple charges, including attempted murder.
Still to come here on Fox 17 News this morning, we go to Sumner County, where there is a big debate on teacher raises. And on top of the debate, disagreement about how exactly to do this.
We're going to tell you why some board members say they are being forced to choose between bleachers and teachers.
And Fox 17 News, always your live local news source through 9 a.m. Couple different live looks right now. Kind of a misty, dreary start to your Thursday. Brett says eventually the sun's going to come out before we get more rain and storm chances for the weekend. So we'll detail all that for you in minutes.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering.
7:10 is the time. We continue to follow breaking news this morning out of Bellevue. You're taking a look at Metro Police standing and chatting with each other there. They're at the scene of a shooting that happened earlier this morning where one person was shot and killed after having a fight with their brother, we believe. According to authorities, police did respond there to Bellevue at the Bellevue West Apartments around 4 o'clock this morning. They say a 27-year-old man was stabbed by his 25-year-old brother. We're told that that 25-year-old brother was killed during a confrontation with Metro Police. That 27-year-old who was stabbed is expected to be okay. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is now investigating this particular incident. We'll have a live update with our reporter Johnny Maffey coming up here in a few minutes. In the meantime, school boards across the mid-state are trying to solve basically the same problem. They're trying to figure out how do they keep teachers teaching in the classroom. What stops them from moving on to the next school system? Well, paying them more can help, and Sumner County wants to pay their teachers $50,000 a year at minimum. But they also want to build things like brand new stadiums and other upgrades. You may remember they had the collapsed bleachers at one of their schools just last year. Some school board members say it's making for some very tough choices.
I'm in good faith asking to remove the extra $5 million. Still have wonderful, nice bleachers for our schools and for our students without all the additions. We can add the additions later, especially as sales tax revenues go up, we get extra money, these kinds of things. But we need to focus on our staff right now, or else they won't be here later. I think this year we're in a crisis. I think next year we're in a catastrophe.
To me, if we're in some kind of crisis, and I believe we are, there's a bidding war going on for teachers ever since Governor Lee passed the law to get teachers to 50K, and so now they're they're setting the market, and we can't, and we're not getting ours to 50K, but until we can do that, I believe we need to have a hiring freeze on all new admin positions.
Well, the school system decided not to do that. They did also not get teachers $50,000. Instead, they got them $47,500. They want to ask the county commission for more money. Repeat offenders released without bond only to commit worse crimes. It's an issue Fox 17 News has been tracking now for several months. Well, after our reporting, changes are on the way. Nashville judges are revamping the bond process, and brand new laws are going into effect coming up on July the 1st. You don't want to miss Dennis Ferrier's investigation and a big follow-up he's doing coming up tonight on Fox 17 News at 9.
It's still mostly dry for us out there right now, and I think that's how we're going to stay throughout most of the day. Could see a few showers for parts of the viewing area. I'll show you that here in just a second. We'll also take a look at what the weekend is looking like here in just a bit.
Steer clear traffic still dealing with the disabled vehicle 65 at Dickerson Pike on the north side. We'll tell you what kind of problems it could cause you.
News is continuing to follow breaking news out of Bellevue. Take a look right here on your screen. This is a live look in Bellevue. This is where Metro Police are now telling us that officers shot and killed a stabbing suspect. It happened around 4 o'clock this morning.
All right, so here's what we know so far. We're going to try to set the scene for you at this apartment complex just off Old Hickory Boulevard. Police initially got the call to the Bellevue West Apartments. The caller said that a 27-year-old man had been stabbed by his 25-year-old brother. So police go out there to, what they're expecting to be this stabbing crime scene. Well, that's when something happened that led to a confrontation between police and the 25-year-old suspect. The 25-year-old died. Police reportedly shot and killed him there. The 27-year-old who reportedly had been stabbed, that was the initial call. That 27-year-old, we understand, is in the hospital but is expected to survive, and the TBI is now investigating.
Yeah, so our news reporter Johnny Maffey is out there speaking with investigators. He's going to have some more updates throughout this morning, but right now we're just showing you some live looks. We'll continue, though, updating this story.
Well, 4th of July is right around the corner, coming up next week. But right now, the TSA is getting ready for the rush of passengers in advance.
Yeah, we have some live looks right there at the airport. We're joining Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan. Madeline, yesterday I told you that my husband missed his flight. So I think it's always a good reminder to get there a little bit early and be prepared.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys know that I'm not from here and I'm very new here, so I'm not really sure how the airport is supposed to look during this time. So this is straight from our photojournalist's mouth. He said that as we were driving in, it's pretty busy. I mean, it's usually busy, but not this busy. You can just take a look here at the security lines. Now, Erica, yesterday you were saying that security was kind of halted. Today it looks like it's running pretty smooth right now, but TSA says that they're starting today through Monday. They're expecting to screen more than 32 million passengers all over the country. That's a 5.4% increase from last year's Independence Day holiday travel period. And again, at BNA here you can see that it's already starting to get busy. People are heading here, so if you guys are heading this way, make sure that you guys do take into consideration the time it's going to take to get through security. Now, they say that while today is going to be busy, TSA believes that tomorrow is going to be the peak for this holiday travel period. Again, make sure you are prepared as you head to the airport. For now, live here at BNA, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you. God, those folks are lucky if you're getting a head start on your 4th of July holiday on a Thursday.
Kudos to you. We need that schedule. We need that schedule.
We truly do. We'll be here though,
yeah,
live and local.
We'll get you covered.
Yeah,
no days off.
Didn't even seem too crowded either, so that's pretty good. I'm one of those guys that always has to get there really early. I know you were saying that you just like kind of fly by the seat of your pants.
I'm going to show up 30 minutes before.
Which is crazy.
We're going to see if we make it.
Now, see, I'm there like an hour and a half, 2 hours early. I'll read a book or take a nap.
Absolutely. Way better safe than sorry. If I want to go somewhere, I want to be able to get there. All right, well, hey, everybody, here's what's happening right now with the radar. Still seeing just a few light showers across parts of Middle Tennessee. I'll zoom in on this in in a second, but here's that little that system that moved through yesterday. It is now down to the south and to the east of us, so the bulk of the activity is still out of our viewing area now. Still just seeing a few of those light showers around the Dickson area, a little bit more of a moderate rainfall pocket right there around McMinnville. Temperatures there in the lower 70s. We have 73 right here in Nashville. Off to a pretty good start. As we head through the rest of the day, I think most areas will stay on the dry side, but we could see a few of these showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms try to develop really just in our southeastern counties and right there along the plateau, and that's about it. I think all other areas should be staying pretty dry today. We're also going to start to see some of those clouds begin to clear on out as we hit the later part of the afternoon. Partly cloudy throughout most of the day, though. 97 on Saturday, a better rain chance as we head on into Sunday.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. We're checking in on that crash or really disabled vehicle, not a crash, on 65 at Dickerson Pike. We've got TDOT on the scene trying to help that vehicle along there. They've been there for a little while, so they may be waiting on a tow truck at this point. But that's the only thing you have to worry about. This looks to be going outbound. The heavier traffic going inbound there on the other side of the screen, so heads up on that. Overall, drive times look like this. Clarksville to downtown, 65 minutes. Slight slowdown around Whites Creek and Jolton area, right around exit 35, so heads up in that area. No reports of a crash, though. 67 minutes coming in from the Murfreesboro area. And now we get into our 7 o'clock hour. Folks in Franklin waking up, 37 minutes.
7:20 is your time right now, and a new law addressing juvenile crime here in Nashville, something we've been documenting for months. We'll tell you what lawmakers and community advocates say has got to be. Good morning. Time right now is 7:23. Looking ahead, we have some new laws that will go into effect in Tennessee next week, specifically on July 1st. And one of them addresses juvenile crime.
This in particular is aimed at 15-year-olds who are involved in organized retail crime, 15 years old or older. Fox 17 News, Peyton Muse, live here in the studio. Peyton, what will this new law do?
Now, this law cracks down on 15 years or older, those involved in organized retail crime, firearm theft, or if they attempt to commit any of those crimes. Now, the bill sponsor says the bill gives district attorneys and judges another tool to use at their disposal.
Organized retail crime is different than shoplifting. It involves a group of people stealing a bunch of things, turning around and reselling it, or fraudulently returning items or buying or selling fraudulent returns. Think smash and grabs or mall thefts, stealing firearms out of cars. Any teens 15 or older involved in this can be transferred to the adult criminal courts. This does not put the teens in an adult detention center. It just puts them in adult court. Representative Rusty Grills says this law is designed to act as a deterrent to stop young teens from heading down the wrong path.
It's hard on our economy, it's hard on our communities, and it will be hard on them for the rest of their life. So we want to make sure that what we can do is, if we can correct those young men or young ladies before they become lifetime criminals, we would be better off in the long run. Here where I live, we've seen that gangs have taken juveniles because they know they will not be charged with a crime. It'll be a juvenile delinquent act.
Pastor Howard Jones worked as a juvenile court probation officer for 10 years. He says locking kids up is never the solution.
You lock them up, they learn how to be a better criminal. You're going to lock them up with like-minded persons. If I send a child back into the same community and expect different results, that's a little insane.
Instead of putting these kids behind bars, Pastor Jones says the state should put those taxpayer dollars into helping kids by giving them the resources they need to be successful in society and give kids things to do instead of roaming around the streets. There needs to be a strategic plan.
Metro Nashville and Davidson County Juvenile Courts say this will potentially shift how youth is processed through its systems. And if the DA requests to transfer the youth, the child will have a transfer hearing before the judge. Reporting in studio, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Peyton, thank you very much. Our Code Red meteorologist, Mr. Brett Luna, in this week for Greg. And Brett, it feels like we're kind of settling into that real summertime pattern where we get some storms, the heat, the humidity. some sunshine and then some more storms.
That's exactly right. And you know, some of those storms that we can get in the summertime can basically do exactly what we saw yesterday, where we don't really have a tornado threat for a severe weather threat, but we have these strong wind possibilities, and that's exactly what we had yesterday too. All those white circles that you see popping up on this map behind me, those are all the strong damaging wind reports that we had across parts of Middle Tennessee from yesterday. Also some really cool clouds out there as that leading edge of the storms moved in. Kyle B sent us in this photo. This is a shelf cloud with some of that scud clouds hanging down, those kind of rugged, ragged fingertip looking type clouds. Nothing bad right there, but just a really, really cool shot. Thanks a lot, Kyle, for sending that in to us. A lot of y'all sending some really cool photos from those clouds moving in with that line of storms yesterday.
Steer clear traffic on I-40 near New Hope Road. This is over near the Hermitage area. Traffic there, seeing some slight slowdowns as you push your way in. This is right before you get to things like Old Hickory Boulevard there in the Hermitage area, very close to Central Pike, eventually over to Stewart's Ferry Pike. Right now, we're doing okay. No big holdups out there on the interstate so far. It's actually been fairly calm, all things considered. We'll continue to follow things for you live through 9.
Time right now is 7:28, and celebrating the Big Orange in a big way. Country star Morgan Wallen has a message, even if it is a little cryptic, to the...
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
7:30 is the time. Thank you so much for joining Fox 17 News on a very busy Thursday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are glad to be your live local news source, always here for you through 9 a.m. We begin with one of the biggest breaking news stories that we're following right here in the mid-state this morning. It is unfortunate. It takes us to Bellevue, where we have been following a string of crimes all summer long. An apartment complex where police confirm officers shot and killed a stabbing suspect earlier this morning.
Yeah, so right now, Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey joining us out there. You've been out there for more than an hour now speaking with investigators. What is the latest update from that scene?
Well, Jen and Erica, that 25-year-old stabbed his 27-year-old brother, according to Metro Police officers, and then with a confrontation later with officers, Metro Police shot and killed the 25-year-old. As for the 27-year-old brother who was being stabbed, we're learning that he is in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and this all happened right here at the Ridge Lake Parkway Apartments here in Bellevue around 4:30 this morning, and a neighbor did tell us that he was hearing gunshots. He heard 4, he said. Again, around 4:30 this morning, dispatch got that call around that time as well. Now, there's some caution tape to the left, and then the apartments over here to the right. This is where the investigators have really been hanging out this morning and focusing, and also walking up and down the hill, and there is some caution tape up the hill through the trees as well, so it's presumably all happened right in here, and neighbors have been driving by this morning asking what's going on, also, you know, walking their dogs out for the walks on this little misty Thursday morning here in Bellevue. And their first reaction is they're surprised. Generally a reaction when you hear an officer had to shoot someone, but then they say, yeah, they have noticed, like Jen was mentioning off the top there, an uptick in crime in this area, certainly a string that we've been following right here on Fox 17, and we will continue to follow this story. Now, TBI is also on the scene. We do expect an update from them later, and we are trying to learn more from investigators right now. For now, live in Bellevue, Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Johnny, thank you. Also, more breaking news updates in Madison, where police say 2 teenagers, they were found with gunshot wounds. It happened over at an apartment complex. We're going to show you the scene from earlier this morning around 4 o'clock. This is what it looked like at the 808 Apartments on Skyline Ridge Drive. It's just north of the Skyline Medical Center. Officers who were working this scene told us they're not sure whether or not the 2 teenagers were shot at the apartment complex, or if the shooting happened at a different location, not at the apartment complex. What we do know is that one of the victims was taken to the hospital.
Also new this morning, going to switch gears and talk about another big story that is currently trending right now, and that is everything that's happened since the Vols won the College World Series. Huge win for that program, and now Morgan Wallen, I guess you could say a Tennessee legend himself and a huge baseball fan, is hinting that he might be involved in the celebrations for Vols baseball.
But you guys, man, y'all make me proud to be from Tennessee. Make me proud to represent the Vols. And, yeah, enjoy this moment. Be proud of it.
It was so cool to see him in the stands.
It was.
In Omaha.
Yeah, I mean, he was there with Peyton Manning and Coach Heupel, Rick Barnes, just to name a few. So what you heard right there was part of his congratulatory speech, if you will. He went on to say that he wanted to return the favor for all of the hospitality that he was shown in Omaha. So he said to stay tuned for a special surprise here in a few weeks. Wallen ended that video saying he looks forward to seeing the team soon. What we're thinking in here, and this is us just, you know, speculating, putting a few things together, is we're thinking he might put on a concert.
A private concert.
Perhaps free, perhaps private.
I thought it was interesting what you said earlier, that Wallen wanted to play baseball.
He did.
But had an injury.
He sure did. He was a very serious baseball player and hurt his elbow, and then he was done. Here we are.
Here we are. That would be a pretty cool concert. That would be awesome if he does put on a little show for them. But here we are, a live look over Broadway now, 73 degrees right here in Nashville. Overall, a very nice, calm and quiet start for us. The only exception, just a little bit of mist out there for a couple of spots, and then just one little pocket of moderate rainfall. I'm going to zoom in right here on the radar. Here's some of that mist. You heard Johnny mention that too, where he was doing his live shot out around the Bellevue area. It's just this very thin line of green that's kind of riding right there along Interstate 40. And then over here around the McMinnville area, still seeing just some light to moderate showers right there as well. Temperatures are in the lower 70s for most locations right now, 73 degrees right here in Nashville. Later on this afternoon, it is going to warm up, but not all that bad. 83 by noon, 89 your temperature by 5 o'clock. Partly cloudy throughout most of the day here, and then we'll be mostly sunny once we hit the later part of the afternoon. I'll show you the 7-day forecast really quick too. Temperatures should be in the lower 90s on Friday, upper 90s on Saturday. There's that 30% chance for showers and storms Saturday. Sunday, we have a 60% chance for more showers and storms.
Let's talk about steer clear traffic out there this morning. Let's get a good look here at I-40 at Old Hickory Boulevard over in the Bellevue area. You know, looking at the traffic maps, you would swear there was an accident over here because of some of the slowdowns I've seen, but it's not. I've looked all over, up and down, checked all the instruments. We're accident free. It's just a little bit slow over there coming in from Bellevue. Maybe encountering some light fog there for sure. You can see people with the headlights on. If you don't like what you see out here, you can always try to use Charlotte Pike as a good way to steer clear there from the west side. Here is I-24 Haywood Lane coming in from Antioch. That drive in from Antioch is about an hour right now, and really it's not Antioch, Murfreesboro. Murfreesboro into downtown Nashville is about an hour, but the Antioch portion is where the biggest slowdown is. We'll continue to follow things out there on the roads.
Justin, thank you. We just talked about Morgan Wallen. We're also going to talk about the Vols baseball coach receiving an award, a big honor following their national championship win in Omaha.
Right now we have a live look over at Nissan.
Sure. This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Matthews Nissan.
Just about 7:40 in Fox 17 News, we are working to continue following breaking news out of Bellevue. Take a look. This is over at the apartment complex where Metro Police now say officers shot and killed a stabbing suspect early this morning. Police say they responded to this area. It's the Bellevue West Apartments. They responded around 4 this morning. They say a 27-year-old man was stabbed by his 25-year-old brother. We're told the 25-year-old was killed during a confrontation with responding officers. The 27-year-old, though, is expected to be okay. Right now, with this live look, we know TBI is investigating. We'll have more live looks and updates throughout this morning.
Erica, thank you. Let's get to some sports headlines here on this Thursday morning. We got to talk more Vols because the accolades keep piling on. Huge success this year for the Tennessee baseball team because of this guy, in part, head coach Tony Vitello.
He was named the National Coach of the Year. Now, the American Baseball Coaches Association is the one that gave him that honor. He was the leader of this Vols team and got them to their first World Series championship in their school history. They also got to 60 wins for the first time in school history.
It's interesting. I was on Twitter yesterday and I saw some folks who are like longtime Vols fans. Yeah. They posted the last known photo of Tennessee Baseball Stadium with fans in the seats. Okay. It was the last game before Vitello took over as head coach. Okay. And then they put that picture with, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred people in the stands and compared it to today and said he is a big reason for that huge increase in the fandom.
He has made a massive impact, and now he's Coach of the Year and a national champion as well.
Right now, let's get a check of your forecast at 7:41. This is your extended forecast, and you notice here this does take us in toward next week as we get to the 4th of July. Chance for some storms over the weekend. Highs are going to stick around in the mid to upper 90s for the foreseeable future. This is summer in Middle Tennessee. If you're new to the area, welcome and buckle up. It gets hot and it gets humid, but we'll be sure to let you know as we track those chances for storms if anything could get severe, live through 9 a.m.
Steer clear traffic at 742. A quick look here at I-40 at 46th Avenue. This is on the west side of town. Traffic there moving along really nicely. It really is. No big problems out there this morning. Congestion is relatively low as you make your way out and about. We'll continue to keep an eye out on things. But the problem spots that we normally see from Antioch and from North Nashville, they are just that, problem spots, but nothing out of the ordinary here for your Thursday morning.
Fox 17 News continues to follow the battle over the Covenant school shooters' writings. We have details on the newest reports with our Fox 17 News investigator Amanda Chin in moments.
Right now, Fox 17 News continuing to give you another live look over in Bellevue where investigators are on the scene. They're trying to get to the bottom of a stabbing and then ultimately a shooting incident.
Yes, so we have both Metro Police and we have the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation on this case. Imagine, you live in this apartment complex, you hear the commotion in the middle of the night, you hear gunshots, which is what neighbors told us they heard, and then all of a sudden, your whole neighborhood is essentially locked down. But that's what these folks are waking up to here in Bellevue. This is just off of Old Hickory Boulevard. This is the Bellevue West Apartments. Again, Metro and TBI both trying to figure out what exactly led up to all of this. And we do know ultimately that a 25-year-old man is now dead after police reportedly shot and killed him responding to that call for a stabbing here. So monitoring those breaking news updates for you. We'll have a live look with Johnny Maffey as he is there coming up in our 8 o'clock hour.
We're also following politics because happening tonight, President Biden and former President Donald Trump, they're going head-to-head for their first debate at a stage over in Atlanta. They're not going to have an audience, but we're asking this question over on our Fox 17 News X account. We always want to hear from you all. We're asking if you're planning on watching tonight's debate. Right now, 57.4% of you all say yes. You are going to watch the debate. We do, of course, know that we're going to have extensive coverage after the debate on Fox 17 News. We're also going to share continuous updates on our social media platforms. But yeah, go ahead and let us know what you think. Sound off.
I'm interested to watch it. We'll have highlights tomorrow morning, too. Hey, as airline passengers get ready to fly for the 4th of July holiday, the TSA is expecting what they say could be record-breaking volume at our airports, and that's starting today.
All right, a couple of days ahead of time. Fox 17 News is Madeline Nolan joining us live from the airport. What do you see behind you? The lines don't look to be so bad.
They're not too bad right now, but again, it is pretty early in the morning. And actually, fun fact, I actually spoke to an attendant for an airline earlier today, and she says while the security lines might actually be bigger over here, while over by the airlines with the check-in area, well, it's actually looking a lot lower. And the reason why is because a lot less people are checking bags in now. They're bringing their carry-ons and they're just heading the security line. And they also don't even have to go and get tickets because they have their tickets right on their phones. So, of course, security looking good right now. But TSA says starting today through Monday, they're expecting to screen more than 32 million passengers all over the country. That's a 5.4% increase from last year's Independence Day holiday travel period. Now, all of this comes after TSA announced the record for most amount of people screened during a single day, and that was around 3 million people. And it actually took place last Sunday. So here again at BNA, you can see that there's a lot of people here, but it's not too bad at the security lines. However, if you guys are making your way over to the airport this morning, you want to make sure that you leave enough time for you to go through security, because that's a big one. Because while today might not be the biggest travel day, tomorrow TSA expects it to be the peak for this holiday travel period. For now, live here at BNA Airport, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you. 7:48 right now. This morning, we continue to follow the lawsuit over the Covenant shooter's writings. The decision on whether to release those records delayed after the judge found out the Tennessee Star had been publishing some of the leaked contents.
Right now, investigative reporter Amanda Chin has the very latest update. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning, guys. Well, it's been over a week since the last hearing, and we still do not have a decision on what comes next. The hearing last week left some attorneys confused and unsure of what lies ahead. Now, this comes after Chancellor Laisha Miles originally called a hearing to discuss potential contempt proceedings and court violations for the Tennessee Star. But at the hearing, the chancellor told attorneys she was there to discuss the path forward after the leak. Remember, the Tennessee Star is suing for the writings to be released. But everyone involved in this lawsuit, including the Covenant Church, school, and families, told the Chancellor Miles this leak should not stop her from making a decision on the writings. Now, George Freeman is the executive director of the Media Law Resource Center, which supports media lawyers. Freeman was formerly a First Amendment attorney and newsroom attorney for the New York Times.
I think the two actions you're talking about are really unconnected. In other words, the government can't stop the paper from publishing what they got as long as they didn't get it illegally, meaning they didn't steal it.
Well, Amanda, before all of this, was the chancellor ready to go ahead and issue an order?
Yeah, so Chancellor Miles says she was ready to issue a 60-plus page ruling 2 weeks ago. But after finding out about the leaked writings, she felt she needed to figure out whether these writings should have an effect on her decision. Now, of course, I will keep checking for updates as she does not have a time frame for when she will issue her new order. She can take as much time as she wants, so we just got to keep refreshing that page to see if she makes her decision.
All right, Amanda, thanks. We know you'll stay on top of it.
Well, 7:50 is the time. Folks are heading out. We saw them over at the airport. Is rain going to be any kind of issue for them?
No, probably not. None that's going to slow the plane down, I wouldn't imagine. Just maybe some light sprinkles, that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, so nothing too bad for you. Yesterday, that was a little bit of a different story. We had some strong storms moving through yesterday. Today, we're only looking at some light showers at best for at least most of us, maybe a couple of storms in our southern and eastern counties. Overall, though, I think that is about it, though. Not looking at much right now going on radar either. Just this area, this tiny little area of little light showers right there along Interstate 40. That's kind of been hanging out in that area throughout most of this morning. That is really nothing to worry about, though, just that light mist. And then over here around the McMinnville area, too, you're still just seeing that little batch of showers over there. And otherwise, it is dry across Middle Tennessee this morning. Temperatures are in the 70s, 73. That's the current temperature for us right here in Nashville. Most areas are in the lower 70s. As we head through the next few hours and this afternoon, a little disturbance is going to try to move in. That could help kick off a few showers, maybe a storm or two across our southern and eastern counties. For the most part, though, that is it. We are going to be starting to dry out as we go throughout the rest of the day. The clouds are also going to clear out some for us too. Partly cloudy throughout a lot of today, but then later on this afternoon, I think areas north of I-40 should start to see more sunshine. This is Friday morning right here at 7 o'clock. We're going to be off to a dry start on Friday morning. Friday afternoon, maybe a couple of showers. I think most areas stay dry again, though, for tomorrow. Not looking at much of a rain chance for tomorrow. Just a few showers possible during the afternoon. Nothing that you're going to have to worry about with any of that, though. As we move on into Saturday, that rain chance is going to start to bump back up. Saturday, we have a better chance for showers and thunderstorms. Mainly in the afternoon, and then that's going to carry on over into Sunday too. A better chance for more storms as we head on into Sunday. A 60% chance as of right now for Sunday.
Steer clear traffic. Let's get you to I-40 near Fesser's Lane, very close to the side for Nashville International Airport. It's a few miles from here, but it's really just east of downtown. We're running into some congestion as you push your way in, but nothing out of the ordinary for you there as you make that drive. So we're doing okay as you get out and about there. Let's take a look at your drive times right now. Mount Juliet at 37 minutes, really 39 minutes, I should say. You make that drive in. Hendersonville, you guys are at 37 minutes. Murfreesboro, just over an hour coming in there from Rutherford County. So the name of the game today is congestion, not accidents.
Justin, thank you. And thank y'all for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News. Welcome back. New this morning, Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell announces new money set aside for affordable housing in Nashville.
Yeah, he shared the update on social media overnight from his multifamily housing project. They're announcing the Pro Housing Initiative that gives money to communities actively addressing barriers to affordable housing. So they're going to be giving out about $85 million to 21 communities. Nashville is going to receive $5 million from this funding. Mayor Freddie O'Connell says that details are coming soon on how that $5 million is going to be spent.
Hey, starting this weekend, more than 24 works of art will be on display in the mansion at Cheekwood. This is called the Interventions exhibit. This year's featured artist is Ann Carrington. Carrington is known for creating eccentric but also elegant sculptures from recycled objects. Also producing pieces for the royal family. Okay.
Fancy.
Elton John, man, and Gwyneth Paltrow. From June 29th through October 27th. So this is going to go well into the fall. You can catch 33 of her works inspired by the Cheekwood Gardens and the Cheek family.
Hey, there's something you can get outside and enjoy this weekend.
And it's inside the mansion.
Inside.
So you can be cool.
No heat.
That will be nice. Cheekwood is just such a cool place as it is anyways. It's kind of cool out up there in the rain too, but there is a chance for a few thunderstorms. So you don't want to be outside obviously when there is that lightning going on. I'll show you the 7-day forecast coming up in a little bit, but there will be the chance for some showers and thunderstorms this weekend. Right now we're not seeing a whole lot on the radar. This is kind of what moved through yesterday, and it did bring that round of strong to severe thunderstorms across Middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky. Still just a couple of pockets of a little bit of light rainfall, just a light mist for a few spots. One of those spots is right here around the Dickson area along Interstate 40. 71 the current temperature in Dickson. We're in 74 in Nashville. We have lower 70s out to the east as well. 70, that's the current temperature over there in Cookeville. So moving on into the weekend, humidity is going to start to build up, especially for Saturday. I think Saturday we're going to be talking about highs in the upper 90s, but then you factor in the humidity, it's going to make it feel like it's closer to 105 right here in the Nashville area and then closer to 110 around the Tennessee River.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out and about here at I-24 at the I-65 junction. There on the north side, traffic is moving there. It looks worse than it actually is. It looks bumper to bumper like you just can't get past it. But believe me, folks, you can navigate it. Let me show you. 36 minutes. The slowdown really starts around Dickerson Pike. And then once you get past the Fern Avenue overpass there, that's where it frees up. But this little section right here is where the problem is. You can always use things like Ellington Parkway or of course Dickerson Pike to steer clear.
Hey, take a look at this. Nashville's International Airport getting a very special gift that is going to help honor the memory of our fallen soldiers.
This is incredible. I want you to take a look at this here with us as we show you what Alaska Airlines is doing. Employees here in partnership with BNA and Atlantic Aviation delivering a new fallen soldier cart to honor the nation's heroes on their final journey.
This is the 16th cart crafted by Alaska Airlines maintenance employees to honor all fallen military members. This cart transports the remains of the fallen with respect and honor to and from an aircraft. It's available now to all airlines at BNA.
Trending right now over on Fox17.com. I'm sure that'll be one of the stories that is trending. Another one right now, this one. The Tennessee State Parks announcing new all-terrain wheelchairs at 10 different parks. As soon as we posted this story on our Facebook page, I saw so many of you commenting positive accolades for the parks setting this up for folks who need it. So if you want to read more about it, perhaps you know somebody who could take advantage of the all-terrain wheelchairs, head on over to the website right now, Fox17.com.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Thanks so much for waking up with us here for our final hour of Fox 17 News on a Thursday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. We begin with several breaking local stories impacting so many communities right now. We begin in Bellevue, an apartment complex, the scene of a crime, and also now where we have learned a man has died after a shooting involving police.
A lot going on with this story. So for more details, our Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey is joining us. You've been following this story all morning long. You're giving us a live look from the scene at Old Hickory Boulevard. What can you share now?
Good morning, Jen and Erica. So the 27-year-old that was stabbed by his brother, according to Metro Police, is in the hospital and will be recovering. He has non-life-threatening injuries. But then a confrontation happened with Metro Police, and that's when, again, officers are telling us that they shot, one officer shot and killed that 25-year-old, and it all happened right here. We're on Ridge Lake Parkway, again, in Bellevue. There's an apartment complex. You can see some of the investigators actually talking to some neighbors over there at the moment. There are dozens of law enforcement vehicles here. TBI is on the scene as well, and just up that hill there, you can't see it on the camera, but through the trees, there's more caution tape. So, again, they're sort of setting that crime scene perimeter here. This all happening right across this little pond we're showing you right about now. Now, we learned all of this. The call came in around 4:30 this morning, and one neighbor did tell me that he heard gunshots around then, and it was originally a call for the stabbing, which we talked about. And when neighbors have been waking up this morning, driving by, heading off to work or walking their dogs, the first reaction is that they're very surprised. Some have noticed an uptick in crime and have actually been monitoring some of our Facebook and Twitter posts this morning, and other people are echoing that. They've heard in the area, Bellevue, there has been sort of a string of crime recently, so we're continuing to follow everything right here, and we are expecting to learn more from TBI a little bit later on this morning. Live in Bellevue, I'm Johnny Matthew, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Johnny, Fox 17 News also getting some more breaking news updates from crews who are trying to figure out the cause of a fire at a business over in Antioch that caused so much damage.
Yeah, it sure did. This is video from the scene on Murfreesboro Pike earlier this morning. The first call came in around 3 o'clock. We went right out there as soon as we heard dispatch, and you can see just a big presence here from first responders and all those fire crews. The fire, we understand, started at a building right behind Larry's Ultra Lounge on Murfreesboro Pike near the airport. And right behind there is the Nashville Adult Literacy Company, and we understand that that's what caught fire. Firefighters able to get this out within a few hours, but it wasn't until about 6 o'clock this morning that they finally got this under control and the fire out. The good news, no injuries are reported.
That's some good news there. We're also trying to get some more details regarding a breaking news story out of Madison. That is where police say 2 teenagers were found with gunshot wounds at an apartment complex. We're mapping it out for you, also showing you some video. Here's a look earlier this morning at the 808 Apartments. It's over on Skyline Ridge Drive, just north of the Skyline Medical Center. Officers who were working this scene say they weren't sure whether or not the 2 teenagers were shot at the apartment complex or at a different location, trying to connect the dots there. We do know, though, at least one of them was taken to the hospital. Police say right now no one is in custody. We'll continue sharing more updates, though, throughout 9 o'clock.
And it's a pretty calm and quiet start for us this morning. Just the only exception to that, a few showers out there, but still nothing that's going to really mess you up at all if you are heading out on the road early this morning. Overall, pretty dry for us. This is that line that moved through yesterday. It brought the round of strong to severe thunderstorms across Middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky. It kind of helped fire up some of those during the afternoon hours. That has moved out of our area, and here's what we're left with now. Southern Kentucky, it's all dry, and there's just that little area of mist right there around the Dickson area along Interstate 40. That stuck around with us most of the morning, and that is about it on the radar, except for this other little small area right there around McMinnville. Still seeing some light showers out that way too. Everybody else though off to a dry start this morning. Temperatures right now, they're in the low to mid 70s, 74 here in Nashville. We have 73 down in Tullahoma. A lot of 73s on the map early this morning. By noon we're at 83, partly cloudy still, and then by late this afternoon, 5 o'clock, I think we're going to start to see more of those clouds break up. 89 your temperature by 5 o'clock. I think that's about our high. We might be able to hit 90 a little bit later on today. Could see a few showers, maybe a storm or two in our southern and eastern counties. Most areas, though, do remain dry today. Another dry day tomorrow, 93, 97 the high Saturday. Saturday is going to be a warm one. Factor in the humidity. It's going to feel very warm. Sunday, a better chance for showers and thunderstorms.
Still clear traffic at 8:05. A quick look here along I-24 at Harding Place as you make that drive into town. Things are starting to bunch up just a little bit. This is typical, though, for this time of the morning as you make that drive in. Let's take a look at your drive times. As a matter of fact, fresh out the oven, 36 minutes in from the 39 minutes in from Mount Juliet this morning. Just over an hour in from Murfreesboro, 37 minutes in from the Franklin area. We'll continue to watch things for you, let you know how these times progress, but no major crashes right now.
We have an update this morning now. One man in custody in connection to a shooting and a carjacking that happened in a McDonald's drive-through line. You can just imagine people packed at the drive-through waiting to get their food, and shots ring out and then a car gets stolen. We know this morning that police have now arrested Ontario Graham for, they say, his part in the shooting that happened back on April 17th. This was the McDonald's on Nolensville Pike near I-440.
Well, police say Graham shot a man sitting in the drive-thru line in the face before stealing a woman's car. The man survived and the woman was not hurt. That is good news. Graham, though, is facing multiple serious charges, including attempted murder.
Sumner County schools trying to figure out how to give teachers a pay raise, but there's a deep disagreement about how to do this. Where's that money going to come from?
We're going to tell you why some board members say they're being forced to choose between bleachers and teachers. Not a good situation.
Fox 17 News, your only live and local news source through 9 a.m. When those other stations go to national network pre-recorded programming, yeah, that's not live here in Nashville, but we've got you covered throughout the course of the morning. Good morning to you.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering.
8:09 is the time. School boards across the mid-state are trying to solve roughly the same problem. They're trying to keep teachers in their classroom. Well, Sumner County wants to pay their teachers more, up to $50,000 a year. That's what state leaders want to do as well. However, finding that money in the budget is one issue that gets rather complicated. Now, in Sumner County, one school board member wanted to get into the weeds with the school director about the budget, and then this is what happened.
Can we get some kind of accounting of that? Is there some breakdown of the reserve balance? Because we're talking about...
It's called the best CFO in the state of Tennessee right here.
I understand that.
No, I'm talking. Let me finish, please. She spent months, and her team has spent months, and they're phenomenal. And I'll be honest, it's insulting.
It is not.
It is very insulting.
It is not. I'm asking for information. I'm asking for information from my constituents.
Fine.
You're telling me I'm insulting her. I'm not. You are out of order. Just trying to get information.
Right.
And there's no insult going on.
All right, that was a moment there between Stephen King, who is one of the school board members there in Sumner County, and Dr. Scott Langford, who is the school director. Now, the teachers did not get the $50,000 a year they wanted to give them there in Sumner County. Instead, the brand new starting point will be $47,500. They want to ask the county commission for more money. Repeat offenders released without bond, only to commit worse crimes. It's an issue Fox 17 News has been tracking now for several months. Now, after our reporting, changes are on the way. Nashville judges are revamping the bond process, and new laws are going into effect starting July the 1st. You don't want to miss Dennis Ferrier's follow-up investigation starting tonight on Fox 17 News at 9. Let's get to your steer clear traffic. This is going to be I-65 and Armory Drive just south of downtown. That is where traffic is moving along pretty well near 100 Oaks. So heads up in that area as we are trying to get you down there this morning. So if you got that early morning doctor's appointment near 100 Oaks, this is a good drive for you to get down there, and there should be no further issues. Also, if you're trying to get over to I-440 to get over near the airport, this is a good way for you to get there as well, and there are no delays out there. We know this area can back up and be busy this morning if you're not careful. Other areas here includes I-24 at Harding Place. This is the drive coming in from Antioch this morning. Heads up in that location. We're dealing with typical slowdowns coming there from the south and east side, but nothing out of the ordinary is what we're dealing with here. So we'll continue to follow things and tell you exactly what we find with Fox 17 News this morning. Let's get out to our breaking news right now. We continue to follow the latest. This is Don Aaron with the Metro Police Department talking about a deadly shooting involving a police officer in Bellevue.
He was very scared of his brother. The police department responded quickly. They encountered the 27-year-old down the hill on a roadway from the apartment, understood from him what had occurred. The officers then went trying to find the 25-year-old brother who had the knife. As the officers approached the apartment where the initial altercation took place, in the darkness, the 25-year-old came down the steps of the apartment complex very quickly from a breezeway. He was approaching the officers very fast. There were 2 officers with tasers at the ready, another officer with his firearm at the ready, as the man came at them very quickly with knife in hand, a very large knife. One of the officers fired on him, fatally wounding him. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation will be conducting the investigation into the police shooting. The 27-year-old brother who was injured during this was taken to General Hospital, was treated. He has now been released and is giving a statement at police headquarters. The Domestic Violence Division is assisting in that investigation, but again, he was not seriously hurt and is now at police headquarters giving an interview. That's the synopsis of what occurred. The police department will have a video release, as we typically do in these situations, later today. Now, Chief John Drake.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to hear from the Metro Police Chief John Drake now. Of course, Chief Drake is updating the.
Thank you all for being here.
Updating us all about that officer-involved shooting in Bellevue.
But it's a day that we have to deal with. As John said, we received a call at about 4:10 this morning between 2 brothers. One had been attempted to stab him. He had been cut during the altercation. He had escaped. Officers responded to try and ascertain more as to what happened. There's a dark stairwell. They're going through the stairwell, and this individual approaches them rather quickly with a knife, and the officers, in defense of themselves, fired. We did have officers there with tasers, prepared to deploy tasers if the opportunity presented itself. It just everything evolved so quickly. There's a very, very imminent threat coming your way when someone attacks you with a knife. We train, and you really don't have a lot of time to react when someone is approaching you with an edged weapon. And the officers waited until the individual was within just a few feet, gave warnings, please stop, police, and the individual didn't. As right now, the TBI has an investigation that's ongoing. Our public information team will put together.
All right, that is Metro Police Chief John Drake talking there from Bellevue. That is where around 4 o'clock this morning, 2 brothers got into a fight. One brother attacked the other with a knife and then fled the apartment. Police arrived to the scene. According to authorities there, they came into contact with that brother down the stairwell. Apparently, according to authorities, they tried that.
Welcome back there. 8:18 is the time. It's hard to believe that 4th of July is next week, but folks are already heading out to the airport to get to their final destination for the holidays.
Yeah, in fact, TSA and Nashville International Airport saying that today is going to be a real busy one. We have our Fox 17 News reporter Madeline Nolan joining us live from B&A with an update. Good morning.
Good morning. And security right now moving pretty good. However, you know, that could change any moment. I did have a chance to look at the B&A website, and I did see that there is only a 10-minute wait to get into the security lines right now. So TSA starting today through Monday, they are expecting to screen more than 32 million passengers. That's a 5.4% increase from last year's Independence Day holiday travel period. Now, again, B&A, as you can see, already starting to get busy, and it could just get busier. And while today might be pretty busy, TSA says that they expect the peak travel time to be tomorrow. So if you are heading out to B&A this weekend, you want to plan accordingly to make sure you can get through security and make your flight on time. Live here at B&A Airport, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Still, most areas are dry this morning, but we're still just seeing that very, very light mist across portions of Middle Tennessee. And this basically goes on a line from about Lobelville on up Interstate 40 right into the Nashville area. It's so light on radar you can hardly even see it. I went outside just to make sure it actually was a little bit mist going on. Here at the station, there is just that very, very light mist that we have right now. 93 degrees your temperature on Friday. We should hit about 90 or so this afternoon. 97 on Saturday. That's going to be our hottest day for the week, and that's going to come on Saturday again. Humidity is also going to be up to a better chance for showers and thunderstorms for the weekend.
Quick look at steer clear traffic. This is going to be I-65 going north. I-65 north and Brentwood. That's where we are dealing with the leftovers of a vehicle fire, we're told, that was happening around 65 near Moore's Lane. So heads up in that area as authorities are continuing to put that out. We'll let you know how long this could be with. 8:23 is the time. We are looking ahead to brand new laws that will go into effect coming up here next week. And one of those laws does take a closer look into juvenile crime in particular.
Specifically, anybody who is 15 years old or older and involved in organized retail crime. And this, unfortunately, has been a trend we've been following in the area. Fox 17 News reporter Peyton Muse joining us live here in studio with more on the law and what it does.
Now, this law cracks down on teens 15 years or older involved in organized retail crime, firearm theft, or any attempt to commit those. Now, the bill sponsor says this bill gives district attorneys and judges another tool to use at their disposal.
Organized retail crime is different than shoplifting. It involves a group of people stealing a bunch of things, turning around and reselling it, or fraudulently returning items or buying or selling fraudulent returns. Think smash and grabs or mall thefts, stealing firearms out of cars. Any teens 15 or older involved in this can be transferred to the adult criminal courts. This does not put the teens in an adult detention center. It just puts them in adult court. Representative Rusty Grills says this law is designed to act as a deterrent to stop young teens from heading down the wrong path.
It's hard on our economy, it's hard on our communities, and it will be hard on them for the rest of their life. So we want to make sure that what we can do is, if we can correct those young men or young ladies before they become lifetime criminals, we would be better off in the long run. Here where I live, we've seen that gangs have taken juveniles because they know they will not be charged with a crime. It'll be a juvenile delinquent act.
Pastor Howard Jones worked as a juvenile court probation officer for 10 years. He says locking kids up is never the solution.
You lock them up, they learn how to be a better criminal. You're going to lock them up with like-minded persons. If I send a child back into the same community and expect different results, that's a little insane.
Instead of putting these kids behind bars, Pastor Jones says the state should put those taxpayer dollars into helping kids by giving them the resources they need to be successful in society and give kids things to do instead of roaming around the streets. There needs to be a strategic plan.
Metro Nashville and Davidson County Juvenile Courts say this will potentially shift how youth is processed through its systems. And if the DA requests to transfer the youth, the child will have a transfer hearing before the judge. Reporting in studio, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
And it's still a pretty quiet start for us here across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. Just seeing a few very, very light showers out there right now. The bulk of the activity that moved through yesterday, actually all of that, has moved on out of here. Not seeing any sort of thunderstorm activity. We had some strong to severe storms yesterday. This is what the radar looks like right now, though. Just this one little area of very small showers right there around McMinnville. And then just these very light sprinkle areas along Interstate 40. That goes on that line still from about Lewisburg on into the Nashville area. And that's it. Everywhere else is off to a nice and pretty dry start for the morning. Cloudy though, and those clouds will start to break up a little bit better later on this afternoon. Temperatures are in the low to mid 70s depending on where you're at. We have some lower 70s out around the plateau. 71 Cookeville and Crossville, 74 in Columbia. We're at 73. That's the current temperature in Clarksville, just a degree higher than that right here in Nashville. As we head on into the weekend, Saturday is looking really warm. Heat index values here in Nashville could be around 105, maybe even a little bit higher, 110 around the Tennessee River or so. A better chance for showers and thunderstorms will come in on Sunday. We have the rain chance on Saturday, some scattered storms possible, and then there's that 60% chance for the showers and thunderstorms on Sunday.
Coming up next, we're going to give you an update with steer clear traffic. I-60.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Thanks for waking up with Fox 17 News on a Thursday morning. For our final 30 minutes, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Let's get straight to our breaking news headlines here this morning. Moments ago, if you were joining us live, you heard us listening into a news conference from Don Aaron and Chief Drake from the Nashville Police Department. They are speaking out regarding what happened earlier this morning in Bellevue.
A lot of updates to get to. Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey has been following this story out there live. What are you now hearing, though? I know we had that update. What can you share with us?
Good morning again, Jen and Erica. So the Metro Police, they just gave us the press conference. They said around 4:10 a.m. they got this call, two brothers having an altercation. They were called originally for a stabbing. Now, when they got to the scene, they realized that a 27-year-old had been stabbed. They talked to him a little bit, and then they went out to find the 25-year-old, and it was still dark out. It was around 4:30 in the morning, and some officers were ready with tasers, and then one other officer was ready with his firearm. Again, this all according to the Metro Police Department. And so we'll show you the scene and talk a little bit more about what we're learning right now, because we are here on Ridge Lake Parkway, right near some apartment complexes in Bellevue. There's some caution tape set up. There is a scene set up across from this pond we're standing next to right now, and there is some caution tape up there through the trees as well a little bit. And so when they approached the 25-year-old, they said they waited until the last second. And we are learning. Well, if you just missed it a second ago, we played. We have a soundbite here from Chief John Drake talking about the officer.
So the officer has been on about 2 years. With any of these situations, the officer is always shaken. It's always nerves. He'll go through the internal part of the investigation, the criminal part of the investigation as well, and then we'll get him some wellness to make sure that he is okay. And so it all remains to be seen. But in these situations, they're always shaken, and he's shaken by it as well.
And so TBI is also a part of the investigation, as we've reported all morning right here on Fox 17. We're expecting to learn some more from them later, and we'll certainly be following it here in Bellevue. Live in Bellevue, I'm Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Johnny, thank you very much. And we continue to follow updates this morning out of Madison, where police confirmed 2 teenagers were shot. They were found at an apartment complex, although police are still working to figure out whether they got shot at this apartment complex or somewhere else. This was a scene at the 808 Apartments on Skyline Ridge Drive. This is right by Skyline Medical Center. Officers there tell us they are, as I mentioned, working to find out where these 2 teenagers got shot. We do know one of them had injuries serious enough that they went to the hospital. Still working to find out how they're doing and who, if anyone, police are looking for right now.
Just about 8:34. We are not in a code red weather alert. That's good news, but it's still pretty soggy out there depending on where you're waking up at.
Yeah, you know, some areas got quite a bit of rain right now, and then we're seeing that just light mist. I had to go outside to even make sure that it was actually misting, because it's very, very just hard to even see on the radar. It's such a light green color going on, but overall not a bad start for us. We are pretty dry for most areas if you're not seeing that light mist early this morning. That activity that moved through yesterday, though, some strong to severe thunderstorms came along with it. That has since moved out of here, and we are not going to have to deal with any of that for the rest of today. Here's what I'm talking about. Not seeing much green at all popping up on the radar map, but right here on the stretch of Interstate 40, we're still seeing just those very light showers also still around the McMinnville area. Both that set of rain and this little set of rain over near McMinnville have stuck around with us throughout most of this morning. But again, that's just some very, very light shower activity going on right now. Temperatures are in the low to mid 70s depending on where you're at. We're at 74 right here in Nashville. Today's going to be one of the cooler days that we've seen recently. Temperatures by noon should be in the lower 80s. By 5 o'clock, we should be in the upper 80s. And then as we head on into the weekend, it's going to start to warm up again. 97 our high on Saturday, a 30% chance for showers and storms. It's going to be humid on Saturday too. Sunday, a better rain chance, 60% chance for more storms.
Still clear traffic. A couple of things to tell you about. Let's get started here at I-24 at Bell Road. Coming in from the Antioch area, we've got a stalled 18-wheeler on the shoulder. A few moments ago, I was watching this CDOT truck literally push this 18-wheeler up the road to try to get it going. It didn't work, and they're stalled out yet again, so give them some room out there in the Antioch area. Following the leftovers of a vehicle fire, we're told, I-65 at Moore's Lane down in the Brentwood area. This is causing a bit of a slowdown. Let's show it to you on the map. 47 minutes on that drive right now as you make that drive in from the Brentwood, or excuse me, in this case, Franklin, I suppose, Franklin area. As you approach Moore's Lane, we do have that slowdown there. You can try to take Franklin Pike, Highway 31. That's a good way to steer clear.
Well, new this morning when it comes to entertainment, country star Morgan Wallen is congratulating Tennessee baseball on their big win. And also, Wallen is hinting at a surprise.
Yeah, so he posted a video that was designed to be a message to Tennessee fans, congratulating everybody in the big win in the College World Series. And while he was talking about all that, he also mentioned a surprise coming up. Let's listen to a portion of it.
But you guys, man, y'all make me proud to be from Tennessee. Make me proud to represent the Vols. And, yeah, enjoy this moment. Be proud of it.
Okay, so Wallen also said that the team was very welcoming to him in Omaha. He was seen in the stands, and now he wants to, quote, return the favor. He said that you need to go ahead and stay tuned for a special surprise in a couple of weeks. Wallen ended that video by saying that, yeah, he looks forward to seeing the team soon. So what could it be, Jen?
Well, we're thinking maybe he's going to put together a little concert. Maybe something private for the team. Maybe something there on the campus of UT for fans and the team.
That would be so cool.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, he gave that free concert here in Nashville at Bridgestone Arena. You remember that?
Oh, yes. I remember trying to get tickets. Just ahead, the Vols baseball coach. We're also talking about the big award and honor following their national championship win. Just about 8:40, and right now Fox 17 News continuing to follow breaking news updates, giving you this live look over in Bellevue, where this morning we just got updates from the Metro Police Chief out there. We are now learning that officers shot and killed a stabbing suspect early this morning. Here's what happened. Police say they responded to the Bellevue West Apartments. This is what you're looking at around 4 a.m. That's when they say a 27-year-old man was stabbed by his 25-year-old brother. Well, we are told the 25-year-old was killed during a confrontation with responding officers. Police say that that person approached them with a knife, which then led them to go ahead and fire a deadly shot in defense. We're gonna have some more updates from police and live looks throughout 9 o'clock.
And at 8:40 right now, let's talk more about Tennessee baseball coming fresh off their national championship win. And one of the big reasons that they've had a lot of success this season is the guy you see behind us right here. This is head coach Tony Vitello.
He was named the National Coach of the Year, and what a year he had. The America Baseball Coaches Association gave him that honor. Watch him get dunked there with the Powerade after leading the Vols to their first ever World Series championship title. It also helped them set the single season record for wins, 60 wins for the Vols. They're the first SEC team to reach the 60 win mark. Congratulations.
What a season. And that excitement, just that energy that they've got.
Yeah.
Imagine what they're going to do in the off season now.
Well, they could bring in a lot of recruits with something like this.
Yeah, they could.
Use this to recruit big time.
And to build onto that new stadium.
And to build into that new stadium there. You know, there was talks about them playing in Neyland Stadium at one point and wondering how many people they could draw if they played there at the home of the Vols football team. We'll see.
Yesterday we had quite the active day. Some strong to severe thunderstorms rolled through Middle Tennessee and parts of southern Kentucky too. This is a map that shows all the storm reports that we had yesterday, and you can see all these wind reports. Just those white circles that we had scattered throughout Middle Tennessee. Several of those reports coming in from Williamson County, also up into Davidson County too. Some of those severe thunderstorm warnings were issued for winds gusting up to about 60 miles per hour or so. Along with that, we obviously had some really cool clouds. Some of y'all sent y'all's photos in. I've showed this one a couple of times now. Kyle B sent us in this photo. This is that shelf cloud on that leading edge of those storms, and you see some of those scud clouds that are kind of hanging down on the bottom sides of that too. Some really cool clouds. Thank y'all a lot for sending those shots into us, and I'll show you what that 7-day forecast is looking like, and also what the radar situation is looking like coming up here in just a bit.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's take a quick look here at I-40 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is out in the Bellevue area. Traffic really comes and goes here. At one point, it's congested. The next moment, freeze up. So we got those pockets of slow traffic coming in from the Bellevue area there this morning. You could take Charlotte Pike if you want to steer clear. We're still waiting on a tow truck to come pull this away. This is 65 in Moores Lane down in the Brentwood, Franklin area. We had a car fire earlier this morning that was causing a bit of a delay. You could try to take Franklin Pike to steer clear.
And we continue to follow the battle over the Covenant school shooters' writings. Details with Fox 17 News investigator Amanda Chen in moments.
Welcome back. As passengers get ready to enjoy their 4th of July next week, Folks over at the airport say they're already getting ready for, you could say, a whole lot more passengers.
Gearing up now in advance. Fox 17 News reporter Madeline Nolan joining us live at the airport this morning.
Yeah, good morning. And as we've been here for the past few hours, we've started to see the lines here at security starting to get a little bit bigger. Right now, there's a few flights that are delayed, but according to the BNA Airport's website, it should just take less than 10 minutes to get through security at this time. So not the peak just yet, but TSA says starting today through Monday, they're expecting to screen more than 32 million passengers nationwide. That's a 5.4% increase from last year's 4th of July holiday travel period. All of this comes after TSA announced the record for the most amount of people screened on a single day, topping nearly 3 million passengers. And that was just this past Sunday. Again, now here at BNA, you can start to see that it's getting a little bit more busy than it was when we first arrived here. But while today may be a little busy, TSA says that they're expecting their peak day for this holiday travel period to be tomorrow. So if you are planning to head to the airport, you want to make sure that you give yourself enough time to get through security. For now, live here at BNA, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
And we're still off to a pretty dry start. We do have some low clouds out there, not really causing any visibility issues, at least for most of us right now. Also, just a few of those very, very light showers that we're still seeing on the radar map. That's just that very light colored green that you're seeing pop up right here along Interstate 40. This has basically been with us all morning long throughout the show, just staying right there. Also, this little area over there near McMinnville, those light showers just hanging out with us too for most of this morning. Temperatures right now are in the low to mid 70s, 71 in Dickson, it's 74 right here in Nashville, 75 the current temperature down there in Tullahoma. As we go throughout the rest of the day, not expecting a whole lot of a rain chance. Most areas, I think, stay dry still. We could see a few showers, maybe a couple of storms that try to form during the afternoon hours, though, in our southern and eastern counties. I think most everybody else should be dry for the rest of the day. Partly cloudy throughout most of the day, too. And then late this afternoon, we're going to start to see some of those clouds begin to clear from the north. So late this afternoon, along and north of I-40, I think we're looking at mostly sunny skies. And then we do bring in that rain chance again as we head on into the weekend. Friday right now looking mostly dry. Saturday, a 30% chance for showers and storms. It's going to be a hot one and humid one on Saturday. 97 our high on Saturday. Sunday, we have a 60% chance for some more showers and thunderstorms.
Steer clear traffic for you. Let's get a quick look here at I-40 near Fester's Lane. This is over on the east side of downtown. We're doing just okay. Not great, but okay. You can get by. There is some congestion that you're dealing with there on that particular side of town. So heads up as you make that drive in from places like the airport, Donaldson, Hermitage, and back behind it, but you can't get through. We're also dealing with the aftermath of that car fire that's still on the shoulder at I-65 near Boers Lane. This is in the Brentwood, Franklin area. Right now, the drive time is at 36 minutes. You can try to use Franklin Pike to steer clear of any backups.
Well, this morning we are continuing to follow the lawsuit over the Covenant shooters' writings. The decision over whether or not to release those records was delayed after the judge found out the Tennessee Star had been publishing some leaked contents of the documents.
All right, so for clarification on where we go from here, Fox 17 News investigator Amanda Chin joining us live here in studio.
Well, good morning. It's been over a week since the last hearing, and we still do not have a decision on what comes next. The hearing last week left some in the courtroom with more questions than answers. Now, this comes after Chancellor Laisha Miles originally called a hearing to discuss potential contempt proceedings and court violations for the Tennessee Star. But at the hearing, the chancellor told attorneys she was there to discuss the path forward after the leak. Remember, the Tennessee Star is suing for the writings to be released. But everyone involved in this lawsuit, including the Covenant Church, school, and families, told Chancellor Miles this leak should not stop her from making a decision on the writings. Now, George Freeman is the executive director of the Media Law Resource Center, which supports media lawyers. Freeman was formerly a First Amendment attorney and newsroom attorney for the New York Times.
A publication can print what it wants. That's what our country is essentially based on, that government isn't going to tell us what we can or can't say. But if we get something legally, anyone can distribute it and can repeat it and can speak it.
Amanda, I know this is not the only issue that has made this case more challenging.
Right, no, not at all. So this case has been going on for over a year and a half. We first had the Covenant School parents, church, and school. They wanted to intervene, so the chancellor ultimately let them. However, the petitioners appealed that decision, so we had to wait for that. Now, we eventually had the official hearing, and then the leak happened. So there's a lot of stuff that's happened in between, many delays in this case, and only time will tell what the judge's decision will be. There is no time frame or deadline as to when this chancellor has to make a decision, so we'll have to keep refreshing and keep following up.
All right, a lot of $8:54 right now. Fox 17 News continuing to follow more breaking news updates out of Bellevue. That is where Metro Police now say that officers shot and killed a stabbing suspect early this morning.
Yeah, police initially got the call to show up to the Bellevue West apartments, where we are still live this morning. This is a live look from that location just off Old Hickory Boulevard. Call came in that a 25-year-old had stabbed his 27-year-old brother. Police show up. They find the 27-year-old with injuries, and they say the 25-year-old approached police with a knife, refused the warnings to drop the weapon and to back down. Police say he did not respond to those demands, and one officer fired a deadly shot. We also understand that officers did have their tasers at the ready. So now we have an investigation. And so as we get developments from that, which we do expect to come in throughout the day, we'll make sure to keep you updated over at fox17.com and then this afternoon on the air. I guess this evening. It'll be this evening because we don't have a 5:30 today due to a couple of things. So make sure you tune in tonight around 10.
Yeah, also this morning, our Fox 17 News crews were over in Madison. That's where police say 2 teenagers were found with gunshot wounds. It happened at an apartment complex. Again, this was over in Madison earlier this morning at the 808 Apartments. It's over on Skyline Ridge Drive, just north of the Skyline Medical Center. Officers told us that they were not sure whether or not the 2 teenagers were shot at this apartment complex or perhaps at a different location. So they're also working that case. We do know one of the victims, though, was taken to the hospital. Let's go ahead and check in, though, and get you your Thursday forecast.
Today's not looking too bad. There are a few showers that are sticking around with us right now. There is a live look right there.
Geodis Park. Geodis Park, home of the Nashville SC.
Yeah, and it's still a little bit cloudy out there too. In some areas, you're seeing a little bit of that light mist that we have going on. But most areas are pretty dry right now. It is going to start to temperatures are going to be a little bit lower today than what we've seen over the past few days too. 90 degrees our high today. 93 our high temperature on Friday. Saturday we start to warm up again. We'll also increase the chance for some showers and thunderstorms. And then we're at 92 on Sunday, and there is that better chance for some more showers and thunderstorms sticking around with us as we head on into Sunday.
Today is not the best hair day with all the mist out and about.
I was just thinking that.
There's a lot of moisture out there right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of that annoying mist where you don't know whether to turn your wipers off or on.
It really is.
You put them on intermittent, and it's still not quite right anyhow.
And it's just kind of been hanging out too most of the day right there along Interstate 40 where a lot of people have been traveling. So nothing bad, but
So it's
just
not a front.
kind of that.
It's just,
Exactly.
Keratoconjunctivitis sicca, KCS, or dry eye in layman's terms,